Hello, and welcome to Getting to the Bag, the launch marketing strategy class. I just want to take the time to congratulate you for investing in yourself. So let's give ourselves a little round of applause. You invested in your business, so that's super, super good. I'm super proud of you. Um, but before we get into the class, I just really want to go over what the sections are going to be in the class because I want you to get excited for them and I just want you to mentally prepare for all this good information that you're going to learn. Some of you signed up through the webinar, some of you did early bird registration, and some of you, this may have been a gift to you or you may have just saw it on my website. So welcome once again. But let's go over what the meat of this class is going to be about. So, the 6 sections of this class are target audience, the marketing bite strategy, branding essentials, building an email list, hyping up your launch, and creating social media and email content. Okay, so all good things that you need for a business, but bundled together, they create a great launch marketing strategy, which is what this class is going to be about. So before I get into the class, I want to introduce myself formally, let you know a little bit about me, because I don't want you to sit here and be like, well, why should I listen to you? Da da da. So I just want you to get to know me a little bit. I'm going to shorten it as best as I can. I don't want to sit here and preach to you about my life for 30 minutes, so I'm going to try to do it in like 5. Okay? So I was born in Miami, raised on a Caribbean island called Antigua for 7 years. Then I moved back to Miami where I went to elementary, middle, and high school. In high school, I got super involved. I had all of this energy building up in me, which I didn't know at the time was creativity. So I got involved with everything. I was on the e-board for National Honor Society, for SGA. I sat on the Junior Miami Garden City Council. I volunteered. I did a little bit of band for a little bit. I danced. I did a lot. I was the president of African Alliance. I did so much just to try to like get my creativity out. I say all of that about high school because in high school, I actually started my very first business. It was a nonprofit organization, but it's a business nonetheless because a nonprofit runs almost identically to a business. The only thing that's different about it is the financial structure and how they get money and the fact that they use a lot of grants. But other than that, everything else, promoting it, building the structure, building its brand, all of that is still the same. So my nonprofit was actually geared towards helping teens live healthier lives. So that's eating healthier, working out, being active, all of that stuff. It actually was nominated for an award by the Miami Herald. So that's super, super dope. I didn't win the award. Somebody else won it that did amazing at such a young age. But nonetheless, I was nominated, and a lot of people don't get nominated for an award for their business that they started in high school, right? So from high school, I went to the University of Florida. Me being of Caribbean descent and having Caribbean parents, they just see medical field for you. Some of them will let you be a lawyer, but for the most part, they want you to be a doctor, a nurse, or something, a pharmacist, something like that. So I went to school to actually become a doctor. My major was physics. And while in my first year of college, I ran into this girl who was looking for a PR person, which is public relations, to help promote her show, to help create flyers for her show, to help advertise her show and advertise fundraisers and stuff for this show. So I was just like, okay, I don't know why you think I can do it, but sure, I'll apply. So I applied. They ended up picking me, and then I did so good in that position that they decided they wanted me to be the director of the show the next year. Mind you, this was an annual Caribbean fashion talent show, right? I was a freshman, meaning that the show that I was going to put on was going to be in my sophomore year because they recruit you a year before. And I was like, why in the world do you guys think that I, little old me, can do it? And they told me they saw so much potential in me. They loved everything I did as PR director, and they know that I have so much experience because I started my own nonprofit organization and because I was involved in so many things that they just trusted that I could do it. And I was just like, okay, so I prayed about it. I asked my family about it. I asked my friends about it. And they said, go ahead and do it. That honestly was the life changing factor. Um, I decided I was going to be the director of that show. While being the director of that show, I had to, one, recruit people to be on my staff. So I had to recruit 30 people. I had to train 30 people on what it takes to not only promote the show, but to run the show effectively. I had to recruit models, performers, all that stuff, make sure everything was running smoothly. In addition to that, I had to promote this show. I had to get flyers made. I had to actually have events to promote the show. I had to do fundraisers to get money for the show. I also secured sponsorships with Olive Garden, Plato's Closet, Publix, all these things to provide us with clothes to model, to provide us with food to eat when we did run-throughs and practices for the show, to provide us with trophies for the winners. All this stuff I had to do. Little old me, freshman slash sophomore Chanel at the University of Florida, doing all of this. And I'm a late bloomer, so I actually started college before I even turned 18. I started college at 17. So just imagine what all of that was like. But nonetheless, I pulled off the best show in history. I say that because I broke not only the show's records, but I broke the University of Florida event attendance record. We had people packed up in there. It was a fire hazard. And the place where we had it held, I think it was over 2,000 people. And there were people along the walls, and there were still people outside in line that couldn't even get in. Like the line was wrapped around the thing that we call the rights union all the way back to the elevators, that the security and the people who ran the building, they were like, no, we're not letting anybody else in. It's too many people, blah, blah. Like I literally had to go out there to get my boyfriend at the time in. I had to go out there to get presidents of certain organizations that helped sponsor the show. And it was crazy, but it was amazing. And the show literally went down in history. Not to mention, I was recruited to be the director of a pageant, which happened to be the very weekend right after that show. So while putting on such a great show, I was also putting on a pageant, which then ended up to be amazing as well. So that right there changed my life. That right there showed me that I shouldn't be a doctor. I have too much creativity. I know how to get people to show up and show out. I know how to promote anything. And I know the strategy behind tricking someone's mind. Well, not really tricking, but tapping into someone's mind to get them to do what I need them to do, which can be attending a show, buying a product, buying a ticket, donating, whatever it is. I knew that I had that in me after I did that show, right? And after I did that pageant. So after that, I just took off. People who were involved in other organizations on campus, they didn't even want me to apply for positions. They came to me with positions on a silver plate and said, we think you'll be great at this. Do you want to do it? Think it over. Come back to us. That was literally how the rest of my college career went for the most part. I did not apply to anything. And if I filled out an application, it was because I had to for them to get my information. And that was it. So after I did that show and I realized that I should be doing something with my creativity, I started testing out different majors. And then I came across public relations. And I was like, wow, this is for me. So for those who don't know what public relations is, it is really the meat behind marketing strategies, behind advertising strategies, behind sales strategies. PR is a study of people and knowing how to build a brand at the same time. That's the best way I can explain it. So PR is like building your brand's reputation, establishing your identity, making people fall in love with you. And it's also knowing what your audience and all that likes and knowing who your audience is and being able to sell to them. And as you can see, I'm super excited about PR, which is why my eyes go all over the place and they bat and all this type of stuff. So super excited about that. So basically, after I started getting involved in all these other organizations and after I changed my major to PR, I kept an internship every single year throughout college. So I've interned with the Florida High School Athletic Association. I've interned with the University of Florida. I interned with a nonprofit organization, a digital agency, a talent agency, all of that. Graduated from the University of Florida with my Bachelor's of Science in Public Relations and a Business Management minor. And then I moved to Atlanta where I did a sales management role at Enterprise. I then went to a marketing agency where I was a social media chair. And so basically, at any given time, the marketing agency handled 30 to 35 clients. I did social media for all of them. By did, I mean created the strategy, executed the strategy, tracked, analyzed, all of that. So that was a lot of work, and it was just me by myself, and I was the youngest one at that company once again. Then after that, I went to a petroleum finance company where I was the marketing coordinator working directly under the VP of marketing. After being there for 3 short months and the VP of marketing leaving, I was then promoted to marketing manager where I excelled. And that is actually the company that I made $4.8 million within 3 months. So in January of 2019, February of 2019, March of 2019, collectively, I've made $4.8 million for that company. That is the most recent company that I've worked for, and that is the last company that I plan on working for, because now I do the Brand Hustler and I teach you everything that I know through my experience and through working in corporate America and through all of these other well-rounded things that I've already done. So if you have a question about almost any industry, I can almost answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I definitely know the resource for it. A few things that I want to go over to make sure that we all know. So there's a course workbook. If you don't have it in front of you, go ahead and grab it. This class is going to go exactly step by step like the workbook. I'm even going to pull certain things from the workbook to then help you fill it out yourself. So make sure that you either have the workbook printed or you have it in front of you on the computer ready to fill out. If you don't, feel free to pause this, go and get it, and come back, okay? Because I want you to put what I'm telling you to action. Now, the next thing I want to remind you, this is not a live class. It feels like a live class because of the format that it's in, but it's not a live class. This is a pre-recorded class. So if at any time you want to rewind because I talk fast, and you're like, Chanel, you need to slow down, just rewind me. If you need to pause it so that you have more time to take notes, pause me. Same thing, if you need to get up, stretch, do whatever, feel free to pause, rewind, whatever. I will always be here. You will always have access to this class, so you can always re-watch it, okay? You'll have access as long as I keep this class on my website, okay? So that's the other thing. The third and final housekeeping rule that I wanted to go over before, The third and final housekeeping rule that I wanted to go over before I jump into the first section is I want to remind you that this class comes with Q&A sessions. There is going to be 2 Q&A sessions. The first one is going to be Wednesday, May 1st at 7 p.m. The second one is Wednesday, May 8th at 7 p.m. The purpose of these Q&A sessions are for you to ask the questions only about this class, okay? Yes, you can ask me other business questions too, but I need them to derive from what I told you in this class. So while you're watching this class, if you have questions about anything or you're a little confused, or my example confused you or anything like that, just write it down and then come to one of my Q&A sessions and ask me that question. You can come to both or you can come to just one. I have 2 because I want to give people 2 options, but then I also want you to put in the work. So my name is the Brand Hustler, right? Hustle is in there. So when I'm telling you what to do, even if you don't launch for the next 30 days or whatever it is, there are things that you can plan out and map out using what I'm telling you in this class. So I want you to at least start to do that. And with there being 2 Q&As, you can start to do that stuff. And if you get stuck on anything, you can just be like, let me ask Chanel what she meant in this class at this Q&A, or let me tell her I'm stuck on this, or this didn't work for me. What am I doing wrong? That's literally what the Q&As are for. Just a little disclaimer. I will sit on the Q&A for 15 minutes. If no one shows up, I'm going to close the Q&A down. Okay? The Q&As are meant to be about an hour, but let's say all of you guys decide to come to the first one and then no one shows up at the second one, then I'm not going to sit there for an hour waiting for people to come in. So if it's past 15 minutes, then I'm just going to close it down. But I urge you and I push you to attend both if you can, okay? So that's all for housekeeping, and that's all for the introduction segment of this class. So get excited. You're about to learn so much stuff, and let's move on to section 1. Okay, so the very first section is about knowing who your target audience is. A target audience is very important. Once you know that, you basically can create any marketing strategy, any advertising that you want because you know who you're selling to, you know what they like, and you know it grabs their attention. So just to go over a brief definition of what a target audience is, a target audience is the group of people that your business is specifically speaking to when they put out messages and specifically targeting to bring in as customers. A target audience is defined by demographics, sociographics, and psychographics, okay? So we're gonna break all of that down in this section. But first, I want to make sure I tell you the importance of a target audience and why you need one, okay? So if this is your first time starting a business, or even if it's not, you may think that you've created a business solution that works for everyone. That is not possible, okay? Selling to everyone is selling to no one. And basically, the best example I could give of that is, say I am a natural organic maxi pad company, right? I create natural pads for when you're going through your cycle. Why in the world would I ask males to follow me? That's one. Why would I target my ads to every single gender that there is? Why would I target my ads to every single age of female that there is? It just doesn't make sense. You're wasting time and you're wasting money by targeting people that can't buy your product anyway or get your service anyway. So if I were to have a company that created natural organic pads, my targeting would be 1, females, because females are the ones who have menstrual cycles. 2, I'm going to target the ages of females that have their menstrual cycles, because we all know there was a point in our life that we all want to go back to where we didn't have periods. And there's a point in our life where we're not going to have periods anymore because we're going to go through menopause. So you do the research, you figure out what the average age of menopause is, what the average age of a woman who starts her period is, and you target those ages. Then your ad budget, then your marketing efforts, then your social media content and who you reach out to, the type of events you go to and things like that becomes so much easier, and you get more follows, you get more dollars, you get more people supporting your brand because you're spending the money and the time at the right place with the right people. Okay? The second reason it is important to know your target audience is this: business is all about finding a problem and creating a solution to it, or finding a need and providing for that need. But I like problem and solution. It's the same thing. So, with that being said, we all know that there are billions of people in the world. No two people have the same exact problems, okay? There are also groups of people that experience one problem, and another group may not experience that problem. There are billions of people. Nobody has this, like, it's impossible for everybody to have the same problem of being broke. It's impossible for everybody to have the same problems with having cancer, the same problems with wearing needing weave because they're bald or their hair won't grow. The same, it's impossible for everybody to have the same problems in the world. If that was the case, I don't even know what the world would be today because everybody would be the same. So there's billions of people there's billions of people and there's many problems out there that they all have. So if we know that everybody can't have the same problem, why would your business that is built to create the solution to a specific problem target everyone when everyone doesn't have the problem? You need to target just the people that have the problem. Now, a back end on this, okay? Just because you target a specific group of people does not mean that other people won't learn about your business. When you target a specific group of people, the right way, you gain brand loyalty through those people. Not only do you gain brand loyalty, but you also gain a customer base. So, for example, me, I target women who want to start a business, right? And my age range, I believe, I don't know off the top of my head, I have it written down in my business plan and I do it, I look at it every time I need to create an ad or anything. But I believe my target age is somewhere between the ages of 23 and 47, I believe. But guess what? I've had people who were 16, 17, 18, 55, 60 reach out to me about starting a business. Why? Because I target my specific people who I know will draw to me and build loyalty with me. That once I build loyalty with my target audience, they share my information. They share it on their pages. They tell people about me. And those people may not be in my specific target audience, so they may have never heard of me. But because I have brand loyalty and I have this gang behind me, my gang is now doing the work to spread the word. And then I get people outside of my target audience that come back to me. But the difference is within your target audience, you have an 80% chance of selling to them. If you're targeting everybody or you don't have a target audience, you have a 10% chance of selling to them. So why would you waste money for 10% when you can spend your money and your time for the 80% and then the brand behind you, the loyalty that you have and the gang behind you do the rest of the work for you and they go out there and take their time and their efforts to get the 10% to you, right? Makes sense, right? So that is why you need one and that is how it relates to your sales. If you target the right person, like I said, you have an 80% chance. Then it's all up to the strategy that you have built out and the funnel that you have built out on how long it takes to convert them into a customer and if they convert at all. But you have an 80% chance right there. If you're targeting everybody, it drops all the way down to 10%. Okay? With that, there is a picture of a desert, right, on this slide. And I just want to tell you a story that will kind of put how does targeting affect my sales in perspective. So there were two young ladies. For the sake of this class, I'm going to name one Chanel and I'm going to name one Samantha. They both needed money. They were in college. They needed money, so they took up a summer sales gig to sell water. They were selling, I forgot what the specialty type of water was, but it was some type of specialty water that was known to quench your thirst very, very fast. It was $5 a bottle. When the girls started this job, Samantha said, well, I'm going to target this affluent neighborhood because I know they have money. They have a lot of doctors there. They're rich. They have money. They should be able to buy, all cases of my water within the first hour, right? And so they set a goal. Samantha and Chanel bet. They said, okay, we're going to try to bring home $100 a day from selling these water bottles. So if you remember, the bottles are $5. So they need to sell 20 of those a day to bring home $100. And they have a 5-day work week. So Samantha goes out to this rich neighborhood. She bangs on her first door. She gives them her whole speech about how good this water is, and the person is like, "Oh well, I don't need that. I only drink Aquafina, and my maid has already bought me cases of Aquafina. But thank you." And then she goes to the next door, and the next person is like, "Oh no, I'm good. I don't need any water. I can get it myself. I don't need to spend chump change on $5 water." The next person also says no, right? Now, let's look over at Chanel. Chanel thinks about it. She's like, okay, well, Samantha's going to these people with a lot of money, but I don't really think that's who needs it. So she looks on the map and she sees that there's a place within their state that they're in to sell this water that has been going through a drought for a month. She also noticed that that place has no body of water near it, and they are out in the country to the point where their nearest supermarket is an hour drive away. She says she's going to go over there and she's going to target those people. She goes to this area. She knocks on her first door. They buy 10 bottles of water. She knocks on her second door. They buy 20 bottles of water. She knocks on her third door. They buy an entire case of water because at that point, she's practiced her pitch. She's seen what the first person who was in her target audience said and reacted and what they needed. And then she's developed it with the second person, and then she's perfected it with the third person to the point where she's like, okay, I know my target audience. I know what they need. I know what they want me to say. And I'm going to go to this third house and I'm going to sell it. And she sold an entire case. At the end of the week, Samantha only sold 20 bottles of water for a total of 100. Chanel sold over $3,000 worth of water. Okay? So keep that example in mind as we move forward. So now that we know that our target audience is needed, now that we know what our target audience is exactly and how it relates to our business and sales, we are about to break it down and discover our very own target audience, right? So, for the sake of this, I am going to use myself as an example and the brand hustler as an example. And then as I go through the class, I'll try to switch up examples and tap into like one of every industry that I can think of, right? So, go ahead. This is going to be in your workbook under target audience. We are going to go through all of the questions. So the first one is, what problem does your business solve? So remember I said a business is finding a problem and providing a solution to it, right? So what is that problem for your business? What is it? If you have a hair business or if you have a makeup business, you may think, oh, well, people don't need me. People need you. If your products for your makeup line are all natural ingredients or all vegan ingredients, there's people who need that because their skin reacts a certain way when they use other products that are filled with chemicals. If you have a hairline and you really want to sell hair that's yellow, purple, pink, like vibrant colors or whatever, and have like, the striped hair or whatever, like all these crazy colors and stuff, think about who would want that. Probably celebrities, performers, rappers, dancers, strippers, like someone like that would want that because they like to pop when they perform. And for strippers, literally, the more they pop, the more money they bring in. So maybe, you're targeting strippers, that's one, and the problem that they have is finding hair that matches their personality and pops out on a stage when they have to compete with other women to get the money in the room, right? That's the problem. You're solving it by providing these vibrant, extra looking, long extensions, right? So what problem does your business solve? For me, for the brand hustler, if I were answering this question, I would put simple and put, I'm helping people learn how to market and grow their business. Okay? Point blank, period. Small businesses to be exact. The problem is there are a lot of women who do not know how to start a business, how to market a business, or how to grow a business. So The brand hustler does just that. I provide the resources needed to do just that. Then moving on to who has the problem. So once again, your product, you may have one of those unique products that target both genders, but most product focuses on one gender, right? If you really think about it, you really, really think about it and think about who it is that needs these things. So, for example, if I was a traveling, what, a traveling massage therapist or something, and I wanted to focus on corporate America people who were always traveling or construction workers who had very long hours at work and their job took a lot out of their bodies, I would target men, right? Because men fill up most of those industries. So you really have to think about what it is that you're selling, what the solution is that you're selling to people. And then you can really identify the gender that will benefit the most from it. Like I said, sometimes you can do both. There are times where you can do both genders. I understand that. But then you also have to weigh out the percentage because when it's time to run an ad, you can then create a target audience with females and a target audience with males, and then you can tell Facebook or Google, okay, well, I only want 30% of my ad strategy to go to males because 70% of the people who will buy my product are women. You can do that. For me, for the brand hustler, I target women, I'm helping women, I'm motivating women, it's women. So my gender is female. Move on to age range. Really think about the age range that you're targeting. With the brand hustler, people who are usually in corporate America jobs, they're 9 to 5s that want to get out and want to live a better life, are going to be between the ages of mid to high 20s and 30s. People who maybe are just graduating from high school and they know they don't want to go to college and they're trying to start their own thing. They may be 18, but like I said, I'm targeting the people who are sick and tired of working 9 to 5, sick and tired of putting money in other people's pocket, who are lacking motivation, who think they can't do it because they had a child. So I'm going to target that 24 or 23 or whatever it is that I said before. I think it's 24 to 47. Like, I'm going to target that age because those are the ages where the people are usually fed up. Those are the ages where people are usually wanting to make change. Those are the ages where people are usually thinking about what they want to invest in to build their future. Those are my ages. Think about your age like that. Next, we're going to go to location. With location, yes, you may ship worldwide, but that doesn't matter. Here's a little tidbit on location, especially when you're running ads, right? When you run ads on Google or through Facebook Ad Manager, which manages Instagram as well, so Facebook, Instagram, Google, if you put your location as worldwide, it doesn't matter what you put for gender, interest, age, or whatever. It does not matter if majority of the people who fit your interests and stuff are in the United States. Automatically Google, Facebook, and Instagram, because they're going to try to push it to as many people for the least amount they possibly can so that you can continue to spend your money with them, they push it to third world countries. So if you run an ad with absolutely no targeting and you just boosted an ad on Instagram, look at your insights after you boosted that ad. So go to view insights and see the percentage that actually showed up in the United States. I can promise you it's not high. I can promise you that they didn't show it to people in Asia, India, Africa, all these other places, and not America, and not the UK, and not Canada. Because those three countries right there, they're money to target to. So you cannot put worldwide when you're targeting. You cannot think worldwide when it comes to your target audience. You have to hone down on the location. Here is one way that may help a lot of people. It helps me a little bit, but it is called using Google Trends. So go to Google, type in trends, Trends. The first thing that pops up should be Google Trends because you're searching on Google. Google is going to show it's its business first. So if you go to Google Trends, what I want you to do, and write this down in your notes, I want you to think about search terms that people who need your product or service are going to search. So what I mean by that is, for me, the brand hustler, I'm going to put in Google Trends how to start a business, starting a business with no money, how to market a business, how to escape my 9 to 5 and become an entrepreneur, steps to becoming an entrepreneur, anything like that. Business training 101, female entrepreneur. I'm looking up these terms to see who's searching them, right? What Google Trends does is, for each term that you put in into that box on Google Trends, it's going to tell you how many times it's been searched recently, the different like months when it's hit its peak, when it drops down to its lowest, when nobody's searching it, when everybody's searching it. It's also going to show you where people are searching it. So it's going to give you your top countries. It's going to give you your top states and high metro areas. It's going to break all of that down for you. It's really going to drill down into the insights of where your stuff is being researched more and who's researching it, right? So the thing I want you to do, and write this down, I want you to come up with at least 10 search terms that directly relate to your product or your service that your business provides. And I want you to go on Google Trends and type them in one by one. Take a screenshot, write down the results, whatever it is, for the location. Write down the top 5 locations. You can do 10 too, but I stay at 5. The top 5 locations for every single one that you search, every single search term. And when you do that, those are the locations that people need you the most. So when it comes to running ads, or when it comes to doing an event or whatever it is, think about those locations first. So especially if you're a service provider and you may occasionally travel to speak or whatever it is, think about looking at events in those areas to go and speak at so that people can buy your service. Think about those events to go and do pop-up shops and things like that so that people can know about the products that you have in those areas, and then, in return, come to your website later on, tell their friends about it, and keep on buying from you. Then you have a good customer base. And here's another trick. Well, it's not really a trick, but here's a little tidbit. When you know exactly, I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. People keep writing me. When you know exactly who you are targeting, and you know what your target is thinking, almost always Google Trends, the locations, the top 5 are going to be the same. They may be in different orders, but they will always be the same, depending on how well you know your target audience and how well you put in the search terms. So for me, for the brand hustler, every single search term that I put in had the following 5 locations as states: Georgia, Florida, New York, California, and Texas. Those are my 5. Sometimes they switched around. Sometimes Georgia was first. Sometimes Texas was first. Whatever. But at the end of the day, my top 5 never changed. That should tell you that the people that need me the most are in those states. So guess what? I have an ad that would run to all of the United States with specific interests. And of course, my gender is female and my specific age range. And I have that. But then I also have ads that run that don't have too many specific interests, that just, cater to a general population that may be interested in business, but I have it hitting those 5 target areas, because the people who are known to start most businesses or to want more business information are in those 5 areas. So I'm going to target those areas. So do that. Go to Google Trends now, right now. Go after the class and look it up, okay? Let's move on to the next page. The next page says, what type of lifestyle do they live? That's as simple as I could get. Think about yourself. If you like natural skincare, right? And you invest into natural skincare products for yourself. What is your lifestyle like? Maybe you eat organically as well. Maybe you're a frequent person who searches different home remedies. Maybe you're a person who go to Whole Foods a lot. You watch certain type of TV shows, certain networks. You follow certain people who focus on holistic diets, who focus on home remedies. You follow certain people who tell you all about natural skincare. You watch their YouTube channels. Whatever it is, that's what your lifestyle is like. So if you were selling a natural skincare product, that is the answer that you would put in this box. The lifestyle, just like that. Okay? Strippers with the hair. What if you're selling hair that are targeted towards strippers, what is their lifestyle like? Write it down, plain. Literally just think about what a day in their life is like. Think about what they're thinking about. Think about where they're going. How many times are they going to that place? Who they follow on Instagram, who they're friends with on Facebook, what pages they like, what they search in Google. Think about that. Think. And then bouncing off of that, we're going to talk about what grabs their attention and what motivates them. So, literally, what grabs their attention. For me, for the brand hustler, I'm teaching you how to market and grow your business. Okay? What grabs the people's attention? I already told you that the people I'm targeting want to leave their 9 to 5 jobs. They want to travel the world. They want to spend more time with their families. They want to give their families the world. So what grabs their attention? Heck, success. Seeing the success in somebody else. So me giving them real receipts with myself or giving them real receipts with clients is going to grab their attention. What motivates them? Obviously, the same things, success and money. Being able to travel, being able to do these things, escaping the trenches of working for somebody else by their own rules, independence. All of these things. People who are interested in the brand hustler probably follow a lot of motivational speakers. They probably follow a lot of people with businesses. They probably follow Superset, Judy, Ming Lee, April Diva Styles. They're probably people who follow these people and study these people and love their brands. So what would grab their attention? Showing them that it's being done and telling them that I can help them get there. That's what motivates them. That's what grabs their attention. So think about that for you, your business, your brand. You have to start off with the problem you're solving. I put these questions in a strategic order, so don't bounce around. Start off with the problem you're solving. Start off with the people you're targeting. Go to their mindset, go to their attention grabbers, go to their motivations. Okay? And then that is all for this targeting section. Yeah, if you want, you can pause in between this and then finish up your workbook for this section, or you could just continue to the next section, which we're going to talk about the marketing bite strategy, okay? All right. Okay, so now we're on the next section, which is called the marketing bite strategy. So a lot of people always ask me what I mean because you can't really research it because of the term that I made up. So I decided that I wanted to make up this term because I learned this process in so many different ways through college, through my internships, and through my job experience. And I was like, I feel like there's a solidified way and a solidified process to get a message across, to get people to want to come and learn more about your business, to come and buy from you, and then potentially turn into brand ambassadors, right? So that's what I did. I bundled all of those processes into one process and termed it the marketing bite strategy. And so when I say convert to customers and then into brand ambassadors, I don't mean paying people to wear your product. Like that type of brand ambassadorship exists, but the term actually came from the customer process and the customer journey with your business. So typically it goes through an awareness phase, then it goes through the customer loving your business and inquiring more about your business or your product. And then it goes into them buying it. And then it goes into building customer loyalty, which then turns them into brand ambassadors. So think about how many of you are brand ambassadors for Target or for Fashion Nova. You just randomly talk to whoever. It could be a stranger, it could be friends or coworkers or whatever. And you may bring up Target and be like, oh my goodness, girl, I love Target. Every time I go in there to get one thing. I end up coming out with a whole bunch of decor and I spend $150. But all the stuff be worth it though. Or for Fashion Nova, girl, I got my birthday coming up, and Fashion Nova just got all the sexy stuff that I need. And I know I could pay for that overnight shipping and only pay $15 and get that thing on Saturday morning. And I need it by Saturday night. So I'm going to shop from Fashion Nova. Boom. Those two that I just did, me talking to you just now, that was me being brand ambassadors for Target and for Fashion Nova. They're not paying me, but because I love what they stand for, I love their business, I've had a good experience there, I now want to spread the word. And so that is what brand ambassadorship actually is. And so people have turned it into this thing where they're paying people to then wear the product and talk about how good it is or do a video on YouTube about how good it is. But it actually came from the original customer journey. So that's a little something that you can write down and then brag about later. So because the marketing bite strategy is something that I coined myself and made up, I'm going to try to teach it to you the best way possible and the easiest way for you to understand. So on the screen, there's an ad about IHOP. I'm going to read it to you, and then I want you to write down whether or not you think this is a good ad. So if you think it's a good ad, write it's a good ad. If you think it's a bad ad, write that it's a bad ad, okay? I think I'm actually going to follow up with you guys about this at the Q&A and see who thought it was good and who thought it was bad, just to like feel you guys out. So this ad reads, get hot, fresh coffee for $2.99 at IHOP. So if you think it's a good ad, write that down in your notes section. If you think it's a bad ad, write that down. And you can write why you feel like it too, because I just want to know. So in Q&A, I'm going to ask about this. Now, the second ad that I have up here is also about IHOP, and it's also about coffee. And this ad reads, yes, you do smell the coffee. Only $2.99 at IHOP. And it has a coffee picture popping out on the billboard. Now tell me if you think this is a good ad or a bad ad and why. And I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to think about it. Okay. So you've thought about it. If you put that both of these are good ads, you're wrong. If you put that both of these are bad ads, you're wrong. If you put that one is good and bad, then you may be right, depending on which one you put is good and bad. So the first one is actually the bad ad. Remember, I said the point of marketing is to sell something to someone to convince them to buy it without them knowing that they're being sold to, right? You telling me to get hot, fresh coffee for $2.99 is you trying to sell me coffee. I can read that from a mile away. I don't want to buy it. I don't need it. I don't need coffee. I don't care how long I got to drive on this highway. I don't need coffee. I'm not exiting at $2.49 for this. Like, no, I don't care that it's only $3. No. The second ad is the good ad because you just see, yes, you do smell the coffee, but you're like, okay, they're not really trying to sell me nothing. They told me I smell the coffee. Why this works? Listen up. So you know the term, wake up and smell the coffee, or girl, you tripping, you need to smell the coffee, or whatever it is. That term has been around for generations. You have children who never had coffee in their life saying that term to their little kid friends. And you have, people like me. I knew that term before I had coffee. I still say that term randomly just because it comes off the top of my head. People buy with emotion. Me having that back up thought in my head once I see that is going to trigger an emotion. It's going to trigger a memory within me, or it's going to trigger the fact that I love that phrase, and I'm automatically going to be drawn to that billboard. I'm automatically going to know what in the world they're talking about because I've been ingrained with the term wake up and smell the coffee. You need to smell the coffee. So when you say, yes, I do smell the coffee, okay then. I smell the coffee. What's up? You get what I'm trying to say? So that really plays into a person's emotion. Instead of you just saying, come and buy this coffee, you're using a term that I'm emotionally tied to draw me to your ad and then draw me to your store. What's even better about this billboard is the price isn't in big words. It's very small at the bottom, very small. But the coffee is big, and that's the attention grabber. And the words that tie to you emotionally are big because that is the interest factor. Okay? So now I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do need coffee. I got about 5 more hours to drive. Let me exit off of 249 and go see what this billboard is talking about. I'm going to buy it regardless. I've already come to your store. Now it's up to you. I'm in here. I'm your target audience. You've attracted me the right way through that marketing bite strategy. And now it's an 80% chance I'm gonna buy because I'm already here. I came off the highway. Now it's up to you, your customer service, and how well you know how to seal the deal to close me out of that 80%. It honestly doesn't even matter how much your product or your service is. Once a person has gone through the journey that far and they're bitten at the marketing bite strategy, like I said, it's an 80% chance they are going to buy. It's up to you to mess that up. That 80% is more than enough. I'll do good with a 50% chance of you buying. So 80%? Oh yeah, run that here. So that is a good example of what the marketing bite strategy is. Now, how do you use it? You use this strategy in your social media content when you're posting about new products or you're posting about a sale. You use this strategy when you're running an ad, any ad. Always use this strategy. And you also use this strategy when you're putting out email content about a sale or about a new product that you're releasing, right? So I'm about to help you break down what your marketing bite strategy would look like. First, we're going to do the ad, and then we're going to do the email content. Now, the ad, the strategy for that is the same exact strategy for the social media content for when you're putting out a sale or you're putting out new products or a new service, okay? So create your ad, make a little note. It's also for social media content. So these are the parts of the bite strategy for an ad and for social media content. You can write this down, but it's also numbered in your book. Starts off with grabbing attention. It then moves on to attracting with interest. And then moves on to what the sale is. What's the price? If it's not a sale, it's just a new product, what is the price? It then moves on to the benefits and the offer details. Now, a little note about this, you don't have to include benefits and offer details on every single post or in every single ad. I mix it up. So for example, when I put out, let me think, what do I want to put out? When I put out the post about the launch marketing strategy class, the very first post I put out, it's not there anymore because I archived it. But my attention factor was boom. These are the numbers. My attracting with interest was boom. I'm telling you that I did it, and I'm telling you I did it in X amount of time. My price was my price, which was my sale price at the time was an early bird special. And then my benefits of it was everything that you're going to learn in the marketing strategy class. And then my offer details was telling you, well, my early bird special is only going to last until X date. That's what it was. If you look at the IHOP ad, their attention grabber was the big coffee that was popping out the billboard. Their interest factor was that emotional message right there, which was, I know to wake up and smell the coffee. So you saying, yes, you do smell the coffee. I'm attracted with interest right there. Their sale price or regular price, we don't know if it was a sale, is $2.99. For them, they didn't have benefits or offer details because that was the short version of their ad. But if they did have a long version, their benefits may be like, you still have a long way to go on your trip. Come and get a coffee. It's going to keep you alert and get you to the destination fast. Boom. Benefit. The offer details may be, it's only going to be $2.99 until January 1st. Or, whatever day. That's it. So when you create your ad and you create social media content to advertise either a new product or a sale, follow this formula. You don't always have to do all 5 steps. You can do 3 or you can do all 5. I like a mix of both. So if you're going to do an ad for a sale, put out one with the top 3, which is the short version of your ad, and then put out one with the 5, which is the long version of your ad. That way you attract 2 different type of people because some people want to know the benefits. Some people need to know when their sale is going to end so they can know if they're going to come back and buy this later. Some people are like that. So you want to be able to reach out to those 2 types of people within your target audience, okay? Now, moving on to the email version. The email version is very similar. Excuse me, my slide doesn't want to move. The email version is very similar to the ad and content version, but it switches up a little different because when people open emails, they have a different mindset. So, and an email is a different layout. So for the email offer, you're going to start off with attracting with interest. You're going to then demand attention because you didn't have an attention grabber. So you need to demand the attention now. You're going to do the benefits or the incentive and the price. Then you're going to tell me how in the world do I get this? And then you're going to do the call to action. So a good example of an email offer is when I sent out an email about my followers book. I actually did it twice. But I sent out an email about my followers book. My interest point started at the subject line and it started when you opened it with the title. The interest was how to get 1,000 followers in less than 30 days. You opened it, my title kind of matched the subject, same thing. Then how I demanded attention, the first line was, I did X amount in X amount of days. And then I had pictures too, to prove it and to get that interest even more. I did it. You can do it too. Then the benefits of it were, these are real targeted followers. This is not no Google Gaga. This is not no, I'm using the app to do this, that, and third. No, this is you putting in the work and this is you putting in strategy behind the work and it paying off. That was the benefits. The price, whatever the sale price was at that time. So I don't know, maybe it was $20.99 or something. I don't remember. But okay, you can get it for the next 48 hours for only $20. How to get it? Go to my website to purchase your 1,000 followers in 30 days book. And then I hyperlinked it as well. Then my call to action was a button. Get 1,000 followers now or get ebook now. And that linked to the 1,000 followers book. Even though I had already linked to my website before my email, I still need that call to action and I still need to link it. So you see how emails play out? You're attracting with interest, which is usually the subject line and then your title of your email. And then you're moving on to demand attention, which is you demanding it. I demanded it with pictures and I demanded it by telling you, I know what I'm talking about because I did it. Then you move on to the benefits, the incentive, and the price. I told you what the benefits are. We all know that you want to grow your business. You can't grow your business if you stuck with the same 100 followers, sis. I'm about to get you 1,000 in less than 30 days. And if you do this to the T and put in 1,000 effort, you're probably going to get more than 1,000 in 30 days. Heck, I got 1,000 in what? 13 days? And then I got another 1,000 in less than 7 days. I grew 130 overnight. Okay? Do you understand? Like, so that's me putting in the work. That's me investing myself. And that's me actually doing what I need to do. The benefit is right there. Then how to get it. I tell you where to get it at, how to get it, what to click, the price again. It's only 48 hours. Boom. Call to action. Drop this button right here, sis. Click that button. So that's how it would go with your email offer. Once again, and write this down, you are going to use these steps in your emails when you're emailing, blasting about a sale, emailing, blasting about a new product, or maybe a product that's not moving and you want to tell people what the benefits are. And so you're going to run a sale on this product, or you're going to give it a special price, or whatever it is, or you just want to bring attention to it. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the email. Bite at it. For the ad and the social media portion, same thing. You have a new product, you have a sale. Here's the product, here's the sale that's going on. This how long it's lasting for. This why you should get it. This the price, get it now. Boom, 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 boom. Now buy it. So that's what the marketing bite strategy is. In the workbook, you have the outline to make it yourself. I basically just went through all the boxes. But if you are starting off with the first page asks what you're advertising. So sis, what you selling? It asks you what the price is going to be. So if you're having, what's your regular price and what's your sale price? If you're having a sale, it's asking you for your sale dates. If you're having a special offer, it's asking you for your special offer dates. If you're not having a sale and you're just telling me about the product, which I suggest always having a sale, even if it means you took $2 off of the product or whatever, and you're going to educate people on that price, do it. Okay? But what are those offer dates? And then what are the benefits? Then you move on to break down the rest of the stuff like I just went through. So there's no need for me to like go through it again because I just did. So take the time to really break down your marketing bite strategy for both the ad page, which is also for social content, and then the email page, okay? So, yep, I think that is all for the marketing bite strategy portion. Yeah, see you in the next section. Hey guys, we have made it to section 3, which is going to cover everything about branding. We are a little under an hour into the class, and so we're almost at the halfway mark. The class is going to be about 2 hours. So if you want to take a break before you start this section, you can. If not, let's just roll with it. So I get the question a lot about how to brand my business. Should I buy packaging? How do I make people like know about my business, my boutique? How do I make it stand out against competition, right? So these are all branding questions. Ultimately, if you have a great and a strong brand, people will be able to identify you among anyone because you stand out not only with your colors, you stand out with your voice, you stand out with the way you market, and you just stand out like through it all. So, example, if you were to see a Chick-fil-A ad, even if it doesn't have Chick-fil-A on it, because some of their ads don't have their name on it. And so you see an ad and it has a cow and it says, eat more chicken in that scribbly writing. Do you not know that it's Chick-fil-A? You do. And the reason you know is because Chick-fil-A has set their brand up to be that way. They've done cow days where they give free food for dressing like a cow. They've ran commercials with that cow over and over again. They push only chicken. They don't have any other meat there. And so when you see that, even though it doesn't have the Chick-fil-A logo on it, you automatically know that it's Chick-fil-A. And you automatically create that brand. They automatically create that brand recognition inside of your mind. So that is ultimately the goal of branding. Of course, our small boutiques and our small businesses are not going to be on this grand scale like Chick-fil-A is because Chick-fil-A has been around for years and Chick-fil-A has a lot of money to pour into their marketing and things like that. But we can start small and we can start to dominate certain sectors and then slowly take over more and more sectors so that more and more people recognize our brand. Um, for example, someone who did it, Fashion Nova, the guy who created Fashion Nova, you know Fashion Nova when you see Fashion Nova. You know their ads when you see their ads. They're flashy videos with the little things that go like this. They have the hype music. Most of the time they have a model just standing there or like walking fast pace. And their clothes and their items and just their models, they have particular models that look a particular way. Period. So even when I see the same model, for example, Pretty Little Things sometimes use the same model as Fashion Nova, I immediately like think Fashion Nova when I see those people because Fashion Nova has put those people everywhere. So branding is literally everything. I can't break down one specific thing you need to do right to create a brand because you need to do a lot of things right to create that brand recognition. And for the people who own clothing boutiques, models and things like that come into play. So if you're a clothing boutique and you don't have a face to your brand as far as when they model your clothes, nobody is going to remember that. And if you switch up models every other week, nobody is going to remember you. It's better for you to build a solid team of 5 people, 10 people, depending on how big your inventory is, and use those people, switch them out. So if Julie isn't available this week when you got some new inventory, you can use Tasha. And then the next time when Julie's available, you use Julie. But at the end of the day, it's these same 5 faces that are plastered all over your website, plastered all over your ads, plastered all over your social media, right? So I'm gonna dive a little bit into that. So let's do the basics first, right? So the very basics of branding derive from developing your own branding booklet or branding identity booklet, all of that stuff. What comes in a brand identity booklet, or what you should put in a brand identity booklet, excuse me, should be everything that defines you, everything that you want people to know when they look at you. That is exactly what goes into a brand identity booklet. I have a worksheet package that's called What's Your Identity that dives into everything within your brand from purpose to mission, name, goals, logo, all of that. But for the sake of time, I cannot go through all of that because, like I said, branding is everything. So I'm going to go through the 3 strongest points I feel is if I need to address, and I'm also going to go into a few other things like the models and things like that. So the first thing that you need to do to brand yourself is you need to come up with a name. When you're thinking of a name, I don't want you to just name it after yourself just because. Oh, Chanel's Boutique. Because you have, lack of creativity. Don't do that. Like, what you need to do when you create a name are these things, and write this down. You need to think once again of the problem you're solving, which we already did in the previous section. So you should already have that. You need to think of the problem you're solving. You need to think of your target audience. Once again, we already did that. You need to think of what your target audience likes, what their lifestyle is like. Boom, did that too. Then you need to research your competition. So find similar places, so similar boutiques, similar hair studios, similar lash tech, similar whatever. Find similar pages who have a similar audience and see what their name is and see how they carry themselves and see what it is that they do that their followers like, their audience likes, and what they do that their audience doesn't like. Within that research, you're then going to list 3 competitor names. Okay? So you're going to list 3 competitor names based on your research that have very similar target audiences. And I want you to write down what you think of when you see those names. I want you to also write down how people use those names. So, for example, if you're going to write down Fashion Nova as a competitor, how do people use the Fashion Nova name? They do Nova Babe, yes. They does it stand out? Yes. Is it unique? Yes. I've never heard of a Fashion Nova before. I don't even know how they came up with that name. So think about all the things you think when you see Fashion Nova. One, you think fashion. One, you think it's like head honcho, like I'm the goat of fashion, basically. Fashion Nova. That's what I think of. So I want you to look at three competitors, write down their names, write down what you think about their names, right? And what you think holistically about their brand. The same thing that you're going to do for names, I want you to do for colors. Okay? Now, once you've done that for your names, you are then going to start thinking, how is my business different from these competitors? What is my edge? What is my difference? What is my purpose within my business? And how am I uniquely solving this problem? Once you figure that out and you write it down, then you're going to start to brainstorm names. Brainstorm names that put whatever your unique touch is on what it is that you're solving. Does that make any sense? So, for example, if I was going around being a mobile masseuse, and the difference between me and another mobile masseuse is that I create the whole session. Like I brought the whole setup. I got a backdrop, I got candles, I got all this stuff. I'm bringing all this stuff to your house, sis. I'm setting up a mood when I get there, right? Maybe I might tie in mood in my name. Maybe I might tie in personalized mood in my name. Maybe I might tie in maybe I might name it the mobile mood therapist, the mobile mood spa, something like that. Mood mobile, like something like I'm gonna think about all these things. What makes me different? What's unique about me? What exactly is it that I'm doing? What the problem is that I'm solving? And I'm gonna write down a whole bunch of name ideas. Don't stop. Do not stop until you get to the one that you feel like, this may be it. And then after that, you're going to go around to some people that you know, some people that support you, and you're going to just read them off names and say, tell me which one stands out to you. And tell me if one like jumps out at you that's a little negative, tell me which one that is and why. If one jumps out to you that's really, really good, tell me which one that is and why. And kind of notate what everybody is saying. Only people you care about. Don't go to your haters now. But notate what everybody is saying. And then sit down and really brainstorm which one out of the list you want to choose. And sometimes it's going to be nothing on that list. But what you'll notice is some people are going to like particular things about particular names, and they're going to dislike particular things about particular names. So then you can pull what it is that they like out of the name, and then you can take out what it is they dislike, put two things that they like together, boom, there goes the name. When I was naming the brand Hustler, it took me 2 days, I believe. So don't rush it. It shouldn't take you a week, but don't rush it. And what I did was I mapped out my purpose, my mission, my goals, how I'm different from other business and marketing coaches. And I mapped that out. And then I started thinking about names. I text my close friend, Gabby, we were texting all day. And I was throwing random names at her throughout the day. And she would tell me, maybe not, try this, try that, da, 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 da. And then when I came home and I was next to my boyfriend, I was throwing him names. He was like, no, maybe something a little this, or maybe something a little that. And based off of that, I came up with my list, right? And my actual name, when I came up with the list, was actually supposed to be the brand Hustle. So if you are a fan of T.I. or watch VH1 or whatever, you would know, is it on VH1? I think it's on VH1. Or watch VH1 or whatever, you would know that he has a show called The Grand Hustle. And he lives by that term, the Grand Hustle. So I was like, oh, the brand Hustle. But then when I thought a little bit deeper about it, I'm like, but I'm one person. So why don't I name it the brand Hustler? And that's literally how my name came about. But I went through the process. I went through the process of looking at other people's name. I saw a lot of other people's names that I'm not going to list or mention here, but I went through, how they tied business in their name, or if they didn't tie business in their name at all, how they tied their own name into it and different things. And I said, you know what? I want to make sure that I have an emphasis that I am heavy in the marketing and PR sector. I don't want to put business in my name and you think that I'm just going to help you start a business. No, I want to help you market your business and grow your business. But I know that some people have not yet started their business. And so, yeah, I can help with that. But that's only 10% of my business. 90% is marketing and growing you guys' business, not starting it. So another business coach can deal with starting businesses 90% of the time, but I want to deal with marketing and branding the other 90% of the time. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's why I made sure something like a brand was in my name, either brand, marketing, public relations, something like that. Something like that had to be in my name. And that's how the Brand Hustler came about. So you really need to go through the steps. Research your competition, okay? Identify what you like about them. Identify what you don't like about their names. Brainstorm how you're going to be different. Write down possible names that you think yourself. Go to people within your circle, go to your family, whatever it is, people that support you, ask for their opinions, ask for their emotions when you say your name. The reason you need to specifically ask for emotions is because of what I said in the previous section. People buy with emotion, okay? Hustler is emotion. Okay, it's telling you you can do it. We doing it together. We getting in your business together. Okay, so people buy with emotion. Make sure that you ask them, how do you feel when you hear this name? How do you feel when this? What does this make you think of? Ask those 3 questions. So write it down if you need to. You're gonna go to people. You're gonna ask them, how do you feel when you hear this name? What do you think of when you hear or see this name? How does this make you feel? After you do that, you narrow down your list, you pick one. And of course, after you pick your name, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get all your social media accounts out the way. You're going to get your email address. You're going to buy your domain. You're going to do all that stuff that I spoke about in the Start Your Business webinar. But I can't get deep into what else you need to do as far as that right now because we have a lot of stuff left to cover. But that's what you need to do in terms of a name. Now, in terms of colors, when you do your research with your competitors or with big brands that are doing the same thing that you're doing, I want you to look at their colors as well. Think about how their colors make you feel. Colors are the exact thing that will pull emotions out of your audience. So when you see certain colors, like when you see yellow, you think happy, you think bright, you think, I'm here, like it's kind of like an awake color. You're alert, right? When you see red, you think important, you think sexy, you think urgent. When you see gold, you think luxury, you think high class, you think glamorous, you think all of these things. So look at their colors and see how it makes you feel and see if, their brand represents the meaning of that color. So for example, yellow, it means vibrant, like I said. It's very awakening, it's youthful. Forever 21. What is their name? Forever 21, you're forever young. You're forever youthful. Yellow is their color, yellow and black. And yes, they throw some white in there, but yellow and black. Bam. So when it comes to color, I just want you to look and see what that color speaks to you. But you don't need to write down the things. You're going to write down things for names because naming is very is a process. When it comes to colors, this is what you need to do. You need to think of your purpose, okay? You need to think of your purpose. You need to think about what you want people to feel when they see your business, when they see your brand. What do you want them to feel? So if we were to go down the rainbow and I go through every color, what it makes you feel like, it would be too long. So I'm just going to pull out a few colors and give you an example. So for example, there's color meanings on this board, right? Me, the brand hustler, my colors are red, black, and a glitter gold. All three of those have a particular meaning. Red means urgent. It means important. It means now. It also kind of has a boss effect to it, right? So when you see red and you hear my name, the brand hustler, you're like, oh, she must be giving some good deeds. She must know what she's talking about. She a boss. She's this, she's that because of red. Now black. Black is sleek. It's clean. It's professional. It's powerful. Once again, that's what I want you to what I want you to see when you think of me. Glitter gold, it's glamorous, it's luxury. I want you to know that when you work with me, you're going to be able to get these luxury things because your business is going to provide for you in ways that you have never imagined. It also appeals to women instead of men. Because I have red and black, which are gender neutral colors, I had to put a touch of something girly in my color to appeal to women because my target is women. That's it. So I added the glitter in there. If I wasn't appealing to women, then I wouldn't have put glitter in there in that gold. And you'll notice that other business coaches, they tend to use pink a lot when they're targeting only women. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to use pink. I didn't want to be girly. I want to be a boss. I want to tell you that we're about to do boss things and you're about to boss up. So those are the meanings of my colors. So as you go through your workbook, you're going to see that the branding section says list 5 possible names for your business. Those 5 come after you've already done your research, you've already written down possible things, and you've already went out and asked people what they feel about it. And then you get your top 5, okay? It's also going to ask you what your purpose is. I made sure to put this on there because you need to be able to showcase your purpose in everything you do. That is a important part of branding. You have to showcase your purpose in everything that you do. And I'm going to speak a little bit about that when I move on to the next topic. And then I have list your colors. You're going to pick 2 main colors and 1 accent color. My 2 main are red and black. My accent is gold. Of course, you could throw white in there because white is just clean cut, and it's a good base color for anything. So I have white in my colors as well. But it's not one of my defining colors. It's just a color that is used if it needs to be used. White is the only color you should use that way. White, and if you don't have black, then white and black are the only colors you should use that way. No other color should be used like that. So if your colors are red, blue, and purple, stick to red, blue, and purple. Nothing else. Don't put red, blue, purple, and sometimes orange. No. Red, blue, purple. If you need to use white because the font shows with white, use white. If you need to use black because the font shows with black, use black. The only reason I use white is when I need fonts to show. I put it on a white background. Or if I took a picture on a white background. Boom. Okay? So now, we talked about name. We talked about colors. Purpose is something you got to dig deep inside yourself and figure out. I cannot tell you what your purpose is. So I can't talk deep about purpose. Think about what your brand's purpose will be. If you need help, I do have the workbook and that kind of helps you out a little bit more, but I still personally cannot tell you your purpose. I can tell you what my purpose is for the Brand Hustler and maybe that will help. So my purpose for the Brand Hustler is basically to use God's blessings to me that he's filled my life with abundantly to pour into others' lives so that they can live an abundant life and experience an abundant overflow in their businesses due to the marketing and PR knowledge that I supply them with. That is my purpose. I want to help women live their best life by improving their businesses through the marketing and PR knowledge that I know. That's my purpose. What's your purpose? Your purpose is tied to you. Your purpose is tied to your business and your brand. What is your purpose? The next thing is going to be font. If you go on my website, if you go on my social media pages and you look at my posts, you'll notice that I tend to use the same fonts. If I use a different font, it's in the same font family. Like they look similar, okay? The reason you want to stick to a certain type of font is because it helps with branding. Like think about the Chick-fil-A message again with the cow. That scribble scrabble is perfect. They use that everywhere. That's how you know it's Chick-fil-A. If they were to switch that up, people will be kind of confused. They'll see a cow, but it'll be a different font. They'll be like, what the heck is going on here? So fonts do matter. Fonts create a cohesive look. Okay? Now, moving on from fonts, your logo is very important. Similar to a name, once you get your name, you need the logo to match. You need the logo to either be a text version of your name, so just turning your name into a, a graphic version of the text, or you want it to be an icon that represents what your name represents. Or you can do both. For me, the Brand Hustler, I do both. Sometimes you'll see that I put my entire name with the icon in the my left, so left hand corner. Sometimes you'll just see the icon by itself. Because my name is so long, the Brand Hustler, I don't put my name on every single thing. So usually when I do a social media post that has my hustle tips, I have my icon at the bottom. My icon is a red laptop with a gold glitter money sign, right? Brand Hustler right there. And then when I do certain flyers, I'll put just the Brand Hustler, no icon on there. But when I do certain things, the full logo is on there. And that is okay. You can have an icon and you can have a logo. As long as they read the same message, read the same thing, you can do that. It's similar to having a logo and a mascot. You have a logo and an icon. So that way, when you have absolutely you're confined for space, you can use your icon to then speak numbers. I mean, speak wonders for your brand. All right. So, boom, packaging. Packaging needs to match. When you start out, it's going to be difficult to get branded packaging because, it's a lot of money. But think about smaller ways that you can invest in your packaging. So if that means you're going to get stickers, branded stickers with your logo on it or your icon on it, or, your quote that you go by. So when you come up with your purpose, sometimes you come up with quotes or like a little motto. So if you want to get a sticker that has your motto or your quote on there in the font that you use, then do that and stick that on your poly mailer. If you want to put your logo on your poly mailer and you don't have the money to pay for it printed, then get stickers made and put those on your poly mailers and send those out. When you send out your packaging, also create branded items inside of your packaging. So that means thank you cards. You need to have branded thank you cards with your logo on them, with a discount on the back, and with pictures of your items or a cute design. You need to have that because when people get the package, sometimes they don't even look at the package. Even if it's branded, they just rip it off. But what they do look at is what's inside. And if you have the thank you note sitting on top, they then know where you got it from. And if they're around people, those people know where they got it from. But then you putting that thank you note in there puts a personal touch and adds a little bit of personality to your brand. And it's if you give them a discount, oh yeah, they're gonna come back and they're gonna use that discount. And then you have a repeat customer. So put thank you cards inside of your packaging. Also put business cards inside of your packaging. Also, with business cards, carry them around everywhere. I keep business cards in both of my wallets and in my purse that I take out the most. That way, if I'm going to the supermarket and I end up having on something that's from my boutique, I don't sell clothes, but if I have on something from my boutique and somebody asks me about it, oh, boo, I sell these. Here you go. Oh, these sold out, but I have something like it. Check it out. Here you go. And I'm handing them the card. With the brand hustler, I am my brand. So if I end up talking to you and tell you something, and it helps you, and you're like, wow, how do you know this stuff? Oh, girl, I do this. Here you go. And that happens to me a lot because people tend to ask me how to do things, and I tend to have very elaborate answers and explanations. And so that's a play up for me because I get to just hand them my card and be like, I do this. Here you go. So keep your cards on you. Put them thank you cards in the packages. Put them business cards in the packages. Make the packages cute. If you do not have money to spend on personalized poly mailers, get a pattern poly mailer. They have poly mailers that come with floral print. They have poly mailers that come with shopping bags on them, whatever it is. Get you a poly mailer design and then put your branded stuff inside. So if it's you wrapping a pink bow around it, wrap a pink bow around it, stick your thank you card and your business card in there, and then boom, you have a branded package. Now, when you build up money, you should invest in poly mailers that have your logo and your name and things like that on them, or boxes and things like that. But when you're just starting out, if you don't have any money, you can do the other options. If you don't know how to design a thank you card or a business card, or you're stuck, that's what I'm here for. If you go on my website and you go on the branding page, the branding services page, I do thank you cards, I do business cards, I do poly mailers, I do flyers, I do all that stuff. I do banners, I do all of this stuff. Okay. So if you're ever stuck and you need somebody to do it for you, just go on my website and reach out to me. If you have a personalized request like that you don't see on there, I do those too. I create jewelry tags, I create clothing hang tags, I create all of that. So if you need that, go ahead and reach out to me or go on my website and buy it. Simple. You'll have branded items. And I don't charge a lot because I believe in helping people. So I don't charge a lot. But so you'll go on my website and see that I do business cards, print and everything for one price. And you'll go to somebody else's website and notice they charge 3 times the price. So it's really about investing in yourself and investing in your brand to make sure that that brand recognition is there. Because when somebody recognizes your brand, they can then spread the word about your brand. They're then going to take pictures and put it on social media, which is going to spread the word even more. And then they're going to have that recognition in their mind. So whenever they see an ad or anything come across social media, they're like, yeah, I know this place. Let me check them out and buy again. Or let me send this over to Susie because I know Susie was looking for something to wear. So let me send this over to her. Now, the next thing that I want to touch on that is very, very important. Very important. This is your brand's voice and personality. What do I mean? Believe it or not, every big brand that you love or you know of has a personality and they have a voice. Going back to the Chick-fil-A thing, eat more chicken. Is chicken spelled correctly? No. Right? But because that's that brand's voice and brand's personality, we know what they mean, even though it's not spelled correctly. And so when we see things that are misspelled in their marketing all the time, we accept it because that's brand's voice and personality. Develop yours. Develop yours. So what that means is your content, your captions, the way you speak on the internet, your about me, they all need to sound the same, as if it's coming from one brand, one sound. I'm thinking about drumline, one band, one sound. As if it's coming from one brand. It's one person or whatever. Even if it's a team of people, you need to make it seem like it is one person because your brand has a personality of its own. Your brand has a voice of its own. So if you're going to be hyper when you post one thing and you're going to be super excited and bouncy about it and optimistic, you need to carry that throughout if that's going to be your brand voice. If you're going to be really strict, urgent, about your money, whatever it is, in one post, you need to carry that out throughout the whole post. You can't be bouncy one day and then trying to bring up negatives the other day and then trying to boss up the next day and focus. No, it doesn't make sense. So when you see me, for example, post quotes, what am I doing? I'm pushing you to do something. I'm pushing you to change. When I post random pictures, like if I post a random picture of money or if I post a random picture of how to budget, what am I doing again? I'm pushing you to do something positive in your life. I'm pushing you to stop waiting. When I post about my webinar, I'm pushing you to stop waiting and to do something. That is my brand's voice. That is how I speak. That is what I do. If you notice, whenever I reply to somebody, I almost always start off with, "Hey, boo," because I want you to know that I care about you, right? So, "Hey, boo, now let me get you together real quick." And I say, boom, boom, bam, 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 boom. That's it. That's exactly how I speak every single time, every single comment that I reply to, every single DM that I reply to. "Hey, boo." It does not matter. It does not matter what it's about. It's, "Hey, boo," and boom, let me get you together real quick. Period. And you can go on my pictures, you can go through them, and you can literally see that that's how I reply every time, because that is my voice and that is my brand's personality. I'm not going to switch it up. That is what I do. People are going to fall in love with the way that you say things. Yes, you may run some people away because they're going to be like, "Oh no, what? Hey, boo, I don't like that." Or, "Oh no, she too much. Like, she acting like she personally know me and she wants me to do this business stuff." Like, no. And that's okay, because guess what? My target is not you. My target are the people who, once again, I said this in the earlier section, are sick and tired. They want to get out of these 9 to 5s. They want to make money so that their families can live good. They want to travel. They want to make sure that their kids straight. They want to do all of this stuff. They are hustlers. They are ready to hustle. They're ready to learn to hustle. So that means when my voice speaks to you as if you need to be hustling, you're gonna love it, because that's what you've been needing to hear all the time. And if you don't love it, that means you're not ready. Come back when you are, or go to somebody else who is going to baby you and have you stringing along, paying them for years and years, and you still don't start a business. So really think about what your brand voice is. Really think about your brand's personality and carry that out everywhere. Okay. The big 3 C's for branding are cohesiveness, consistency, and creativity. Using your brand's voice all the time is a part of consistency and cohesiveness. I should be able to see an ad, I should be able to see a post and not even see the name of it and know that it came from the brand hustler. Because of the colors, because of the way that the caption is written, because of that voice, because of the way it's styled with the font, because of the way it's styled with the graphics, I know that's the brand hustler. I don't even need to second guess. I know it is. That is the purpose of a brand. That is the purpose of all of these things that I just listed out. And there's much more to it. There's much more to it. At the beginning of this section, I mentioned the models. So for boutiques, the reason I said to get your own group of models is because they become the many faces of your brand. If any of you know of the Jadora Fancy boutique, she uses one model all the time. That's the same model she uses for ads, the same model she uses for all of her social media content. It's everywhere. I even think, yeah, the model takes pictures too, and it's on, Facebook. Her website. So you know when you see that girl, oh, that's Jadora Fancy. She could even be on her own page and probably not wearing Jadora Fancy, and I automatically think she's wearing clothes from Jadora Fancy Boutique, because that's the model that's tied to the Jadora Fancy. You need that kind of correlation. You need that cohesiveness in your brand. It needs to come together. Cohesiveness. You need to always execute all parts of your brand, consistency. And you need to think of creative ways to keep on using your colors, to keep on using your voice, to keep on using your logos, your font, and things like that to keep drawing people in and to keep them engaged. Creativity. So those are the parts of your brand. So in your workbook, like I said, you're going to outline options for your name. If you have a name, great. If you have a name and now you're like, dang, I need to rename because they don't make no sense, do that. You're also going to outline your purpose. You're also going to outline your colors. If you need to change your colors, do that too. You need to do what's best for your brand so that your brand can go far. You're not going to be able to grow if you do not have a strong brand. A strong brand is literally everything. Everything. Okay? Is there anything else that I wanted? Oh, yes. Write this down in your notes section. This is something for the colors section that I forgot to tell you. This is actually a very irritating thing to me. So, if your set of colors are pink, black, and silver, for example. Wait, no. Let's think of another color. If your colors are orange, blue, and gold, right? Why is it that sometimes I see people use a bright orange and sometimes they use a deep orange on the same website, on the same Facebook page? Why, on the same Instagram? Why are you using different shades of the color? That's not your brand. So if you're guilty of using all these different shades, quit it. It's okay on Instagram when you're developing that layout look. Like on mine, you'll see like different variations of gold somewhat, but mostly all the reds are the same. Black is always the same. Gold is always somewhat the same, but there's different variations of there. So sometimes the gold looks a little cream, but that's just because I want to create a portrait type of look. I want my Instagram to be pleasing to the eye. But when it comes to your website, when it comes to your email content, when it comes to your logo, when it comes to your email banner, your Facebook banner, all that stuff, all of your colors need to be the same. When it comes to flyers, all of your colors need to be the same. You can't be light pink one day and hot pink the next day. Okay? They need to be the exact same. This is the way that you guarantee that they are the exact same. And write this down. If you have a graphic designer design your stuff, ask them for your color codes. Okay? So when a graphic designer designs your logo for you, ask them for your color codes. If you design something yourself, you need to make sure that they match those color codes. Or if you design your own logo or create whatever for yourself before you go to a graphic designer, you need to write down those codes and stick to them. These are the 3 color codes. There's a hex code. That's the code that starts off with a pound sign. There's an RGB code. And there's a CMYK code. Those are all the color codes for colors, okay? That you need to know at least. Those 3. Hex codes tend to be used anywhere that you're online. So when you're building your website, you're going to use hex codes. When you're using Canva or something like that, you're going to use hex codes. When you're building a flyer, if you're using Photoshop, you can use hex, RGB, or CMYK. If you're using an online fake Photoshop, they're probably going to have you use RGB or CMYK. If you're getting something printed by a printer, they're usually going to tell you, okay, well, these are the RGB or the CMY versions of your code. We're going to use this one because it's better with spot printing or something like that. So you just need to know the versions of colors that you have. They are, once again, hex code, RGB, and CMYK. So what you use those for is you use that to make sure your colors are consistent across the board. So if you get your logo created by one graphic designer, and then down the line, you're going to have another graphic designer create flyers for you or create a business card for you, you need to give the new graphic designer the codes that the first person used so that the color is the exact same. If you're coming to me for a business card or anything like that, I ask you, what are your colors? I ask you for your color codes. If you don't know, then I can help you and tell you what they are by you sending me your logo, or you sending me something that the other graphic designer created for you. And then I will pull out the codes for you and tell you what each code is, and then I will create your content based off of that. I recently had a client who, she just told me, her colors were a galaxy theme, and she had, other graphic designers do work for her, and they tend to use all different types of shades of those colors that she wanted. And so what I did was I used her logo. I pulled her logo and I used the my software, and I pulled out the 3 color codes. And I used that for every single thing that I've created for her thus since. And I've created multiple things for her. And I've used that every single time. And so I'm going to share those codes with her. Once I send her this most recent project that I'm doing, I'm going to share those codes with her so that if she ever goes to somebody else, which I hope she doesn't, but if she ever goes to somebody else that's not me to create something, she can give them those codes and it can be consistent. So please remember to ask her. If you don't have them yet, ask your graphic designer for your codes. Reach out to the person who made whatever for you. So if you use, go to your email them real quick and be like, hey, slide me my color codes. I need my hex code. I need my RGB. I need my CMYK code. And if they say they don't have your project anymore, send them whatever it is they made for you. Send them your logo, send them your flyer, whatever it is, and they should have the software to pull that out for you. If they don't, I can do it for you if you're ordering something from me. But yes, you need to keep that color code the same. If you have Photoshop, you can do it yourself. This is the way that you do it yourself to pull your color codes. Go to Photoshop, open up an image of whatever it is that somebody made for you, so a flyer or a business card or whatever. Make sure that the layer is unlocked. And then you are going to click to create a shape. And then you're going to click where you see that square with a whole bunch of colors. And then you're going to click the thing that looks like a dropper and then hold it over whatever color you're trying to figure out the code for. And you'll see that Photoshop auto-populates the hex code, RGB, and CMYK code for you. I understand some people don't know Photoshop from a can of paint. So once again, if you need a CMYK code, or RGB code, or a hex code, you can reach out to me. If I'm creating something for you, I will automatically do it for free. If not, I can do it for you for super cheap. I'm not going to charge you a lot for it, probably like $5 to tell you what your color code is. But you need to know what those are so that you can stay consistent. Stop using burnt orange one day and light orange the next day. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, that is all I have for the brand identity section. Now, let's move on to different branding tools that I use. So you can, you can go to any well-branded Instagram page and you'll notice one of these 3 things or all of these 3 things. Is it 3 or 4? These 3 things. You'll notice that when they post quotes, they usually use the same layout. They usually have, borders around it, same colors as their colors and everything, the same font and everything. You'll then notice that if they have a flyer, it matches the colors. Sometimes the flyer is animated. You'll also notice that some people have a picture that takes up multiple squares, and that helps them transition to a new color wave, or it helps them just start over, like a reset of their Instagram if they're starting over a new branding, or sometimes that's just a part of their brand. So every 10 posts they like to put, or every 9 posts they like to put a little restart picture. I'm one of those people. Every 15th post, I think it's going to be, I'm going to post a reset picture, which is a full picture that takes up multiple squares, and reset my Instagram that way. So that way when you scroll down, it'll look super cool. So what are the tools that people use to keep their Instagram on brand? These are the same tools you can use for Facebook. These are the same tools that you can use if you want to post stuff from your website. If you're doing a lot of website content though, I would suggest using Photoshop mostly. Um, but these tools can help you too. So, boom. Here are the tools that I use. I use Canva all the time for everything. For this slideshow that you're watching right now, I use Canva. I have Keynote and I have PowerPoint, but Canva just makes it so easy for me to stay on brand with everything. Um, super easy, super easy. Once again, it's an online platform that makes designing things easy. It takes a while to get the hang of it. So when you first sign in, your things are probably going to look a mess. But with some practice and with continuously using it, you'll see all of the benefits of Canva and all of the features of Canva, and you'll learn how to use them pretty good. Um, I want to do a class strictly on branding, and strictly showing you how I use Canva and showing you how I use these other two tools. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the Q&A section. But yes, you can do this with Canva. So with Canva, I use it to create quotes. I use it to put borders around images. I use it to create slideshows. I use it to create workbooks. I created the workbook for you in Canva. I use it to create a lot of things, and all of my things are branded pretty well. The next thing that I use is called Adobe Spark. And these are all websites and apps, by the way. So Adobe Spark is what I use, similar to Canva, but it's you can't really do slides and stuff on there, but you can do Facebook banners, Instagram squares, Instagram stories, Pinterest, I think, all that stuff on there. So I use that to really, like, if I have a quick quote that I want to just type in and it's on a plain background, I'll use that. I use that for my boutique mostly, and I just type in a quick quote and use that. I also use that for borders for my boutique's pictures. So I'll just slap a picture of whatever it is, and have the border around it. But the reason I use Adobe Spark separate from Canva sometimes is because Adobe Spark supports movement. At least the app does. The website doesn't, last time I checked, but the app does. So you can animate words, you can animate images, you can have them slide in, disappear, appear, all that stuff. When you do like a sale and you have a sale flyer, you can have the sale word grow and come back, grow and come back. So that's super cool. And that's why I use Spark sometimes outside of Canva. The next thing is Photoshop. Photoshop is very difficult. You also have to pay for it. So if you're not design heavy, just leave a Photoshop alone and leave that to graphic designers and just focus on the easy things. Because I don't want you to invest money into Photoshop and have to spend all that time learning Photoshop. I learned Photoshop in a class at UF for an entire semester. And then I still had to take classes on after that to get certified in certain things. You don't need to waste that money. You don't need to waste that time when you can just invest in yourself and pay somebody to do it, honestly. But if you're determined to learn because you love designing things, then go ahead and invest that money, sis, and do it. You can do anything you want to do. The next that I have on here is Giant Square. Giant Square is just the app that people use to make one picture become 3 squares, 6 squares, 9 squares. So if you are interested in doing that as a part of your branding, then you can use Giant Square. So like I said, all of these are apps, and 2 of them are also websites. So Canva is a website, Adobe Spark is a website, but all 4 of them also have an app. So you can just download the app and start using them right away. Canva has a free version. Adobe Spark, I don't know if they have a free version. I pay for the Adobe Creative Cloud. So whenever I go to download anything Adobe, it automatically downloads. So I can't tell you if it's free or not. But it's in the App Store. So I feel like it shouldn't cost that much if it does cost. And another app that I didn't put on the slide is Instasize. I use Instasize. So when I create video borders, which I don't really use often, but if I were to create a video border, I would use Instasize to put my video inside of the border that I created. Usually I create borders on Photoshop, but yeah. So those are the tools, and that kind of wraps up the branding session for me. Once again, if you feel like you want me to go in depth on how to create these things in Canva, how to create these things in Adobe Spark, how to use InstaSize and things like that, I am willing to do an entire hour and a half class on it where I kind of screen share my screen and you get to just see me move and see me plop things around and I explain what I'm doing. I'm willing to do that, but I only want to do it if you guys need it. If you guys don't need it, I don't want to, make it and you guys don't need it. So if you need it, just let me know. You can write me on Instagram, you can email me, or you can just wait until our Q&A and tell me that you're interested in learning that. So boom, branding section is over, boo. It is time to move on to the next section, okay? Which is going to be section 5. And section 5 is going to answer a lot. Is it section 5? I'm sorry. Section 4 is going to answer a lot of what you guys have been asking me about email lists and things ever since you saw me post that video when I first started my Instagram. So I'm excited. So let's go ahead and move on, okay? This section, we're going to focus on how to build your email list. This is also going to be a very explanatory section. So get ready to take a lot of notes because these are strategies that you're going to have to put into play in order to build your email list so that you can build yourself a community, okay? Get your pen out or get to typing. The first thing about building an email list is knowing the purpose. So let me just give you the purpose of an email list. For those who are watching this and may have already launched a business, and you're watching this because either you're rebranding or either you're not getting enough sales and you wanted the marketing background, do you have an email list? If you don't, that's your problem. If you do and you don't use it, that's your problem again. And for the people who are just starting their businesses or about to launch, if you are launching soon and you have not started collecting emails, you need to start today and you need to go ham. And I don't know if people know what ham is, but basically it means you need to put in a lot of work. So here is the purpose of an email list. So your email list gets customers to buy. How in the world is that possible? This is a fact. This is stats. An average person looks at your website, your product, your service 7 times before deciding to make a purchase. 7. It doesn't mean they're going to look 7 in one day. A lot of times that 7 time is spread out over a number of days or even a number of weeks. That's where email comes in. It keeps the connection. It keeps you on their mind when you want to be on their mind because you control when you send out emails. So why would you want somebody to come across you today and then the second time they come across you to be 2-3 months from now? And then the third time, 2-3 months from that. And then their fourth time, and it takes them 2 years to possibly buy from you because they need to see you 7 times to want to buy. Instead of you having an email list that you're actively using and staying on top of their minds all the time. So that way, when they see you today, they're like, all right, cool. Then they see you send out something next week. They're like, ooh, bet. And they see something, the next couple of days. Oh, okay. And then eventually they're like, okay, well, let me check this out. Or dang, she having a sale. I've been meaning to buy this. Let me buy this. Email list is that connection that you keep between your customer so that you can get them to buy. The next thing that an email list does is it builds customer loyalty. So after a person has purchased, whether they've purchased after looking at you for 7 times, whether they've made a purchase in person at an event, or whether they've made a purchase through seeing you on Instagram, you want to keep in contact with the people who have already made purchases. Why? Because you've already done your job of selling your brand to them. They believed you enough to test you out. So now they've tested you out, it's up to you to follow up and make sure that you delivered their expectations. And then it's also up to you to make sure that you're like, hey, We're still here if you need anything else. If you want to tell your friends about us, we still here. We'll give you a little discount if you tell them about us. Hey, you're a loyal customer. We sent you that thank you card. Don't forget to use it. It had a discount on the back. That is what you do to build customer loyalty. You keep that connection. The third thing that an email list does is it educates them on your brand and your business. Just because somebody comes across a post on social media, it doesn't mean that they automatically know what your brand or business is. They may feel a certain way when they see your brand, but they may not know that you donate 10% to charity. They may not know that you participate in the breast cancer walk every year. They may not know that you started this brand because you yourself suffered from alopecia. They may not know this. So use the email list to build your brand story, to share your brand story, to share your business, to share unique aspects about your brand that separates you from the competition. Because when you do that, in their minds, it connects them to you. People, once again, buy with emotions. So if you tell me your brand story via email and you keep contact with me, I'm like, okay, well, this company kind of cares about me. If you do it the right way, if you do it the wrong way, it comes off of you being annoying. But this brand really cares about me. All right, cool, bet. I'll check them out. I'll buy. I'll remain a repeat customer. I'll tell people about that brand. And the fourth thing that an email list does is it creates an exclusive community. And that exclusive community either gets news, they get special tips, they get exclusive sales, special deals, special discounts, whatever it is. You create a community. You have a community of people on your email list that you talk to like they're VIPs, because technically they should be. They've trusted you enough to give you their email address so that you can bother them all the time. So those are the 4 purposes of an email list. Now, we're going to get into how to play up on these 4 purposes down the line to get people on your email list. But I want to cover the email marketing options out there. So in order to build an email list and to effectively have an email marketing campaign that you use to build customer loyalty, to build brand awareness, to offer exclusive discounts, all of this stuff, to do all the 4 things that I mentioned. These softwares must be powerful enough to do this without you having to put in the work all the time. You need to have these things that are automated for you so that when somebody makes a purchase, it's already calculated. Okay, they make a purchase, let's wait 10 days. Their delivery should get to them at least within 10 days. And let's ask them, how is it? Rate us, give us a review. All right, after that, let's offer them a loyalty discount. Okay, after that, let's come back around and say, hey, we got this discount for you if you want to shop with us again. All these things can be automated if you use one of these systems. So there's many of them out there. These are just the 4 that I've used either for myself, for my clients, or that I know about. I've actually used all 4 of these. So the first one is MailChimp. MailChimp is good. It's very beginner friendly. The only thing about MailChimp is you cannot automate things based on if somebody opened it or not. You can only automate it based on timing, which is days. And that may be okay for you and your boutique or your business. That may be okay. So if you want to learn just the nitty gritty of email marketing and kind of like get a feel for it in a beginner friendly environment, MailChimp is where I suggest you start. The next one is called Jilt. Jilt integrates with some store platforms. I know that they integrate with Shopify. I do not know the other ones that they integrate off the top of my head. But if you have Shopify, Jilt is amazing. It is amazing because you don't have to create a separate account outside of Shopify. You can create that account in Shopify. It will appear on your Shopify bill. And it automatically pulls your products and everything for you. And it even has built out automated sequences. And they make it super easy. to the point where you don't have to have technical background to really know how to operate it. They make it super easy to build out extremely detailed automated processes and funnels for you. So it's called Jilt. Okay. The next one is called ConvertKit. If you sell a digital product or a service, this one is king. ConvertKit is made for people who create in an online space, who have digital product. That is their target market, and they make it clear through their wording. They make it clear through their tutorials, their messaging, and everything. They are for online presence, online brands. So if you sell a physical product, ConvertKit may not be for you. The other three are for you though. Then you have GetResponse. GetResponse, I kind of did it easiest to hardest in a way. GetResponse is the more difficult platform, but it's the most powerful platform. You can target people who didn't open emails. You can target people who signed up on a specific list. You can target, you can set up funnels. You can have landing pages created in there. You can have all of that created in there. GetResponse is really, really good. You can track leads. So if you have like a service-based business, like you do massages or something like that, and you really want to like score certain leads, like say you do a free massage and then you have a chain of emails that you send to them to get them to come in and book a full massage. You can track them, you can score them based on cold, warm, hot, whatever it is. You can track all of that and GetResponse. So it's a very powerful platform, but it is kind of difficult to navigate. But if you're up for the challenge and you want all of that, I would say to use that. If you don't understand any of this, and you want somebody to build out your full funnel for you, I do that as well. You would just have to go on my website, go to that contact me option and type in, hey, Chanel, I was in your class. You told me that I need an email marketing system, but I don't know how to set this up. Do you mind setting up my full funnel for me? How much would it be? And I'll respond to you and tell you how much it would be. And I would set up your entire funnel from beginning to the purchase to the follow-up. All of that will be automated for you so that you don't ever have to go back and look at that again. The only time you may have to go in and edit stuff is whenever you delete a product from your boutique. So if we use a certain product in your funnel, then you would just have to go in and pull that if you decide that you're not going to sell that anymore in your boutique, or you decide that you don't want to offer that service anymore. So yes, and there's many more. Like I said, you can do research and see what email marketing software you want to use. If you use Shopify, I suggest using Jilt. I think they integrate with Wix too, but don't quote me on that. I do not remember all of their integrations. But that is amazingly easy for you because they do the work yourselves. There's no back end coding for you. There's none of that. They connect right to Shopify, boom, boom, bam. It's out the way, and you just set up the emails that you want to send, and they make it super easy. The other ones, you're going to have to do the back end coding on Shopify to get it to work and to be automated. Now, I want to go through how exactly to schedule out messages and automate messages. Sorry. Let me see that part over. So now, when you use these services and people sign up, there's a way you can track how they sign up. If they signed up through your landing page or your password page, you can name the list password page signups or early bird sign up or whatever. If you have a certain ad that leads to a different landing page and you collect their email address that way, you can tag them like that. But it's important to track how they sign up because you get to know, okay, well, these people came from this event. These people came from this. You kind of see what marketing strategies are working the best and where you can improve on. So I like to save on my list. So when I go to a pop-up event, the list that I collect from the pop-up event is going to be named whatever the pop-up event was called, email list. So if the pop-up is Miami Pop-Up Shop, it's going to be Miami Pop-Up Shop email list. because I just want to know where they came from. It's important to know where your leads come from. And it's important to, be able to track your customers. So make sure that you're naming your list and you're not just having it say customer list 1, customer list 2, customer list 3. I also told you that these platforms help with the automation of messages and with scheduling out messages. When it comes to emails, I suggest planning out all your emails at one time. When it comes to you, I'm not talking about all your emails ever, no. But if you're going to run a sale, plan out the emails that you're going to run for that sale. In terms of this class, for launching, there are a set of emails that you need to send out before you launch and on the day you launch that you should sit down in one sitting and think about all the content that needs to be in those emails and then schedule it out on the days that it needs to be scheduled out, or have them automated based on the days you want the account to wait, based on if somebody opens it, automate it, schedule it out. Okay? That's what you're going to do. We're going to talk about email content in the next section, and I'm going to show you like what I mean, like the 4 messages that need to be sent out before launch day and on launch day. I'm going to go through all those and we're going to create them together. But it's very important to sit there and schedule it out, because then you end up forgetting, and then you end up, if things aren't automated, you get people lost in your funnel. So you want everything to work cohesively. So make sure you at least plan out your funnel and build out your funnel before you launch. Okay? It is okay if you want to build out your funnel maybe a week or 2 after you launch, because you just want to see how people move and what kind of things people need. Like for me, for the Brand Hustler, as a service-based business, I had certain products, I had certain services that I offered. But when I started posting on Instagram, I started to learn what people actually needed that I didn't offer yet, or what they needed more than other things, what was more important. So then I was able to say, okay, I had these funnels planned out, but let me rearrange some things because I feel like they think this is more important. And so I'm going to rearrange some things and shoot this to them first before they get this certain email, or show them this ad first before they get to this other ad. So that's how funnels work. So with emails, I was like, okay, they feel like they need to know how to do this first. I'm going to send them an email about this first. Then I'm going to trigger all the other things automatically, or I'm going to schedule out all the other things. So now to the nitty gritty part, getting people on your list. There are 3 ways to get people on your list. Let's go through all 3. The first one is to offer a deal or to offer benefits. What does that mean? When you're about to launch and you're trying to get people on your email list, you need to have some type of benefit for me to sign up. You haven't launched yet. I don't really see what you sell. I don't see what your prices are like. I don't know you because you haven't launched yet. What is in it for me? So what you can do is say, okay, well, if you sign up and give me your email, you're going to get a 25% off discount code that you can use when my boutique launches. People love to save. That's automatically going to get somebody to put in their email. Or you can go about it like, if you're a service-based business, you can say, sign up for this, you'd get a free massage, or you'll get free tips on how to lose weight. You'll get free tips on this. You'll get free this. You'll get free that. You can do a combination of both, which is what I like to do. So if I was opening a boutique to get people on my email list before I launch, I would say, okay, give me your email. You're going to get a 25% off code that you can use on the entire store. And you get access to an exclusive community where you will always get secret sales, exclusive deals, and exclusive product releases. I want to be exclusive and I want that discount. I'm signing up. Now, if you're a service-based business, you can offer tips. You can offer how-tos. You can offer free advice. So for me, for the Brand Hustler, when I had my pre-launch email list sign up, I had sign up. You're going to get motivation to your email. You're going to get exclusive deals. You're going to get exclusive business tips. You're also going to get secret sales. And they got a discount code. So that is one of the ways to get somebody to your email list, offering an exclusive deal and offering benefits. The next way to get people to your email list is to be you. And this only works it works at events mostly. So before you launch, some people like to get their face out in the community. They like to go out, hand out flyers about their launch and things like that. So I suggest going to events where your target audience is. So go to pop-up shops, go to events where people are going to be there that fit your demographic, fit what it is that you want to do. So if it's a fashion show or a talent show, whatever, people there love street style and you are about to offer street style clothing, go there, hand out your flyers, introduce yourself, give your business card if you have a business card already, and your flyer should tell them when you're launching, and then say, hey, if you go to my website and sign up on my email list, you'll get a code, a free code to sign up. A free code to use when I launch to save money on. Or you can just play up on the fact that they've met you and you'd be like, hey, if you don't mind and you want to support my store, go on that website and then supply your email or whatever. And then I'll let you know when my site launches, or you'll be the first to know when my site launches. Okay. That's one of my least favorite techniques. I like to use the deal and exclusive community best. Now, in order to use all these things before you launch, you need to have a landing page. A landing page is kind of exactly what it says, a page that somebody will land on when they go to your link, when they go to your website, because your website isn't open yet. So when they go to your website, you don't want them to see, oh, we're opening soon. Oh, this store isn't open yet. Come back later. You want them to see, oh, this store is opening June 1st, 2019. Sign up for launch updates, sign up to get a 25% off and exclusive deals. I bet. Signing up. You need that launch page to say that. That landing page to say that. Landing pages, they come with a lot of email marketing platforms. So they come with MailChimp, they come with GetResponse. I think they come with ConvertKit as well. I don't know about Jilt. I never had to use a landing page with Jilt. But they come with landing pages. So if your email marketing software comes with a landing page and you want to use that landing page and set that up to have a box to collect emails and then to say whatever it is that they'll get for signing up and then to say the date that you launch, do that. If you have a particular website platform like Shopify, and I believe Squarespace does it too, and Wix, they have these things that are called password pages and coming soon pages that you can personalize. So on Shopify, for example, it's called a password page. When you go to customize your website, go to the password page, add your logo to it, and then switch out the details that they have automatically there, which I think their details are like, oh, sign up for updates or something. Switch that out and put in your offer. So put in whatever they're going to get. Okay, you're going to get a code for 25% off. Put in your launch date. It's going to launch on this date. And then put in the benefits of signing up. And keep the email box and everything there. So now when people go to your website, www.thebrandhustler, they're going to see this landing page that says, oh, well, the Brand Hustler is coming soon. It's actually about to open May 2019. And if I sign up, I get 25% off and I get exclusive deals. That's what you want people to see. You don't want people to see, oh, this site is coming soon. It's about to be here, because I don't know when soon is. And then if I go to your site and it says that the site isn't set up yet and it has that little box with the broken thing, I don't really know what that is. I think it's like a little laptop screen and it has it broken or something. And sometimes I'll have a question mark or I'll have a sad face. That does nothing for me. I don't know when you open. I don't know when to come back. I don't know how to stay informed. I don't know anything. All I know is you don't got your website together. So why would I even waste my time following you on social media? Why would I even waste my time trying to come back and visit your website? I don't know when or if you'll ever get your website together. So a landing page is very important when you haven't launched yet. If you already launched, then you can kind of ignore the landing page portion and focus on going to events and telling them, hey, sign up for my email list, offering them a deal, offering them exclusive benefits, and an exclusive community. You really want to offer that. And you want to make sure that when these people sign up, they're getting a confirmation of their sign up. And that's through a welcome message. So when people signed up for my list, for my pre-launch list, they automatically got a welcome to the Hustle Babe community email. Boom, boom, bam. Let them know that they signed up. You give them that automatic confirmation and they're like, okay, bet. Let me save this. Okay, bet. So yes, those are a couple of things on the email list building, how to get people to your email list and things like that. So here is the other way to get people to your email list, right? So what I just told you was the main chunk. To get traffic to then sign up for your email list comes with ads and comes with proper content. So once you've had all these things set up in place, you got your landing page set up, you got what your offer is, you set up the welcome email, you told them what your launch date is on the landing page, you can now run ads. You're going to run targeted ads to your target audience, of course, in your target locations with your target interest, your target gender. You're going to run ads. You're going to have interesting content in that ad, which the content we're going to cover in the next section. But you're going to have interesting content in that ad. And then you're going to have in the caption of the ad, you know, da-da-da-da boutique coming to you. We're going to offer this and that, da-da-da-da. If you sign up for launch details, you'll get 25% off. Sign up now. Have the action button that says sign up now. When they click it, it goes to your landing page. They put in their email. Or you have a video of shoes or whatever. Love these shoes. These shoes will be released on da-da-da-da date. Get 25% off by signing up for launch updates. Sign up button now, click it, sign up. Real simple. Once you have the foundation in order, you run the ads, they come to you, they sign up. It's like clockwork. I did it for my boutique. I put all of my stuff in order. So I had my landing page, I had my offer, I had my launch date. I also had proper content on my social media page, which once again, I'm going over in the next section, but I had all the right content on my social media page. And then I ran 2 ads, I believe, at about $7 a day for each of them. And I got emails like clockwork because all of my things were in order. There was no guesswork involved. It was boom, it's in front of you. You know the date, you know what you're getting by signing up. You've seen the video of the shoes. You love the shoes. You want the shoes. All right, boom, sign up, sis. Boom, that's it. So that's all for the building the email list section. In the next section, I'm combining both 5 and 6. We're going to talk about social media content. We're going to talk about the email content that you should have for your launch email chain. And then we're also going to talk about building hype. So this, like I told you, is going to be a section of a lot of action items. So we're going to go back to that workbook of yours. So see you in the next section. So finally, we have gotten to the last 2 sections. I combined the last 2 sections together because I feel as if they work very well together. So this is going to be the building hype section and the content section. So of course you need content to build hype. So it just made sense to put them together instead of separating them. So We just spoke about how to get people to your email list in the last section. So I want to continue with the email route. So we talked about a couple of ways to get people. We talked about the event strategy. We talked about offering exclusive deals, offering an exclusive community, benefits, having a landing page, and all of that jazz. And we also even talked about running ads to get those people to your landing page to then sign up. So if you look at your workbook, the very first page in this section is going to be titled Email Campaign, and it's going to ask you to list 3 strategies you're going to use to get people on your email list. Using the knowledge that you now know from the previous section, I want you to take the time to fill that out. So I want you to get really, really detailed. I want you to think about what percentage you want to give people off when they sign up, what benefits you want to give people, what your ads are going to look like to attract people to click and then to sign up for their email list. What content I want you to be really, really specific when detailing the 3 strategies that you're going to use. Don't just put, I'm going to go to an event. What event are you going to? How many cards are you going to bring? How many flyers are you going to bring? How many people do you want to know about your business once you leave that event? So I want you to write all of that down on that section. So now, getting into launch emails. Remember I spoke about having an automated welcome email go out to people once they sign up for your email list. And I also spoke about having different emails scheduled out from the time they sign up to the day of your launch so that they stay engaged. They're always reminded that you're coming, you're launching, and then they know when you launch so that they can immediately go and check you out. I had about 400 to 500 people click through and go to my website to see what it was that I had to offer. So we want the same type of results for you. And how did I do this? I kept people informed throughout the process of them signing up for my launch updates and then through me launching. I kept them informed all along the way, and I used the strategies that I mentioned in the previous sections of telling them about my brand, of telling them what it is about to come, and telling them when I launched, reminding them, and all of that jazz. So we're going to break it down and actually do our action steps. So I have my workbook here as well, and we're going to break down each and every launch email that you're going to build out to launch your business, okay? So the first one is going to be the welcome email. It says auto welcome because you're going to automate this. So when you build out your landing page on MailChimp, or when you build out your list on your landing page on Shopify or whatever, you need to make sure that you have integrated an automatic message once they hit sign up or subscribe, that button, whatever the button is, or let me know about the launch, whatever the words is that you're going to have for your button, that it then locks them in and sends them an email within minutes. So that first welcome email should go something like this. Thanks for signing up. Welcome to, if you have a name for your community, welcome to the name of the community. You've now locked in exclusive deals, exclusive discounts, whatever it is. Here is your code for X amount off when we launch on this date. The code is going to be valid for this amount of days. That's what your welcome email should be. It should be a warm welcome. It should give them the code that you promised, because that's what they're going to look for when they open that. They want the code that you promised to give them 25% off. They don't want to wait for that down the line. They want to know that they gave you their email and you gave them what you promised you would in return. So you need to give them the warm welcome, remind them a little bit of why they signed up, and then give them the code that you promised them for that discount off. So if that code is launch 2019, give them the code and say, use this on launch day for your 25% off discount or for whatever it is. So if I were to fill in the blanks that I just gave you guys, say I was launching the Brand Hustler again, I would say, hey, thanks for signing up, babe. Welcome to the Hustle Babe community, where you're going to receive exclusive tips on how to grow your business, and you're going to get free business and marketing advice. Here's the code, BizGoal, for 25% off that you can use on launch day or 14 days after that to save on any product or service that you want on the site. Boom, give a little sign off like, see you later, shop with you later, whatever it is. And then you include, of course, the links to your social media at the bottom. And then that's it. And so the next email that comes after the auto welcome, I named it a brand focused email because this is exactly what it says. It is the email that's going to give them that unique edge about your brand. So in this email, you're going to tell them a little bit about what's unique about you. So for me, because I'm a service-based business, that may be me telling them why I started the Brand Hustler. If I was a product-based business and say, I started because of a certain reason, or I reach out to a certain target audience, like say I had a hair line, a wig line that was geared towards people who were going through cancer or had alopecia, then I'm going to tell you my story in this email. Hey, my aunt struggled with this or whatever it is. I decided to create a brand that would make every girl feel beautiful no matter what she was going through. And that's why I started XYZ. And that's really what that brand focused email is supposed to be. It's supposed to be telling them a little bit more about your brand. At the end of that brand focused email, you're going to say, we can't wait for you to support our cause. We can't wait for you to support our brand. We launch in X amount of days. That's what that email is going to be about. So think about what is unique about your brand. Think about your purpose, why you started your business, your target audience, and what your unique positioning is, and put that into that brand focused email. Because once again, this is like the 500th time I said this. People are going to buy with their emotion. So you want to play into their emotion. Next is the fun fact / countdown. This email is going to be heavily geared towards, just telling them, oh, it's X amount of days. This one I like to put out 3 days before I launch. So I like to say, we launch in just 3 days. And then I'll put in a fun fact about it, or I'll put in a picture of a product that I know everybody loves based on when I posted it on social media or something like that. So if I had a top that everybody seemed to adore, I would then say, only 3 days until you can get your very own crochet top. I would have the picture of the crochet top on my model there. And then I would have a picture that's had a countdown with 3 days. And then that would literally be it. Once again, I'm linking my social media at the bottom. But that's just like a reminder, like, hey girl, it's 3 days. You could get this. I'm reminding you of what it was that caught your attention when you signed up. So if I'm running an ad with the crochet top, I'm going to use the crochet top in this email, because that is going to trigger their memory and say, oh yeah, I did see this crochet top on my timeline. I did click on this ad and I did sign up for this email list. So it makes sense. I'm going to be able to get this in 3 days. All right, well, let me remember that, or let me jot it down in my calendar. Let me remember to check it out. So that's what that email is going to be about. And then the third email is going to be what you send out on launch day. The third email, as in the email after your auto email, but your auto email included counts as 4. But so the third email on your launch day is going to be all about the huge announcement. Like, oh my goodness, I finally launched. Oh my goodness, we finally launched this boutique. We finally launched this service. Come in, shop with us. Come in, get your massage. Come in, get your facials. Come in, get beautiful, whatever it is. So those are just different options depending on what you're selling. You want to just say, hey, we launched today. Sound super excited about it, because you should be super excited about it, and invite them to shop. So have a sentence inviting them to shop. In there, you also want to say whatever the sale is, because you should be having a launch sale. And if you're not having a launch sale, you're crazy, but you should be having something where it entices people to want to buy during your launch. So whatever your launch sale is, announce it in that email too. Today and tomorrow, we have a launch sale going on where it's $10 off for anything off the store. Come in and shop. And because they signed up for your exclusive email list, you want to put in there, don't forget to use your code for an additional whatever percentage off. And you include all that. So once again, your launch email should be an announcement. You should show excitement, invite them to come and shop with you or to experience your service. And then you want to remind them that they have a code they can use. And you also want to give them the sale details for your launch sale. Tell them how long it's going to last so it creates urgency. Remind them of when their code expires. All that should be in your launch emails. Make sure that you include graphics in there so that it's appealing to the eye and that people will want to click on it and actually click through and then go and shop. And then once you've done that, you really have all of your emails set up for your launch. So now you know when you have your email list, you know that they're going to get this auto email. You know that they're then going to learn about your brand in the second email. You know that they're then going to get a reminder about when you're launching in the third email. And then you know that they're going to get the announcement on the day you launch, as well as a reminder about the sale and the code that they have on the day you launch. And that's all it is to a launch marketing email campaign. That's really all it is. The days I suggest are when they sign up, give them that welcome, then send an email 10 days out, then the email 3 days out, and then the email on launch day. So if you don't launch for another 2 months, do not try to send them an email every single week, because then you become annoying and then people start to unsubscribe to your list. So send them that auto welcome email, which is why that auto welcome email is important, because it doesn't matter when they sign up, they still get a welcome. Send them that welcome email, and then you send them that second email about 10 days out from your launch. 15 days is okay, but you don't want to go past 15 days. You don't want to send it too early. You want to send it as it's becoming close. 10/3 launch day. So write that down in your notes so that you can remember that. So now we are going to move on to building hype. And then we're also going to talk about some social media content to share in this section as well. So with building hype, I mentioned when we were just speaking about the email that you should have a launch sale. One of the biggest things that you could play up on to build hype is this launch sale. I like to keep the launch sale a secret until about a day or two before the launch, because I want people to get excited about it. I want people to try to figure out the mystery. Honestly, people love trying to figure out things. They love trying to solve mysteries. So when you tell them, oh, it's about to be an amazing deal, this sale is about to be it. It's going to be the biggest and the first sale ever that we ever have. People are getting excited about it. You can play up on that because they don't really know what the sale details are. Instead of you telling them, oh, well, when I launch, it's only going to be 15% off of everything. That might turn some people out. You want people to be excited and be like, oh, we're about to save some money when she launches. Let me make sure I follow her. Let me make sure I subscribe to this email list. So that's the kind of hype that you want to build. So in your workbook, it says to map out the sale dates for your launch. So you can have a launch sale for a weekend. You can have a launch sale for a week. You can have a launch sale for the entire month that you launch if you want to. It's honestly up to you what your inventory looks like and what your pricing strategy looks like. So you're going to map out those sale dates. Then you're going to write what the discount amount is. So what is the amount that you are giving people as a thank you for shopping with you when you first launched? Is it 20%? Is it 25%? Is it buy one, get one half off? What is that discount? Map that out. Then you're going to create a discount code. I suggest having a discount code make sense. Don't just auto generate one using Shopify or Wix, because a lot of times when you auto generate it, it's going to be a bunch of letters and a bunch of numbers. So name your discount code. Name it launch. Name it launch sale. Name it the name of your boutique. Name it whatever it is that you call the people within your community. So for me, I can name it Hustle Babe. Something like that. You want it to be catchy, that they remember it. They don't have to think too hard about what code they need to use. Or don't have a code at all. Go in there and discount everything yourself when it's time to launch, and then go back in once your launch sale is over and change all the prices. Either way, you can also set up a discount code to automatically apply to everything. So if you do something like buy one, get one free, you can automatically have that applied. So once somebody puts 2 things in the cart, it'll automatically take off the price of one of the things, the lesser item. You then want to map out your limits and exclusions. So if you're doing, say, a 50% off launch sale, that's a drastic number, but say you're doing 50% off, but you don't want people to get 50% off of something that is $5. So you want the minimum order to be maybe $30. What are your exclusions? What are your limits? If you want the sale to be on everything but your clearance items, put down the limits and exclusions, map those out. You want to map these things out now that you have your sanity, because when it's getting closer to your launch, you're going to start to lose a little bit of that sanity because so many things are going to be going on. You're going to be focused on getting so many things together. So if you plan now, you'll miss a lot of slip ups and mess ups later on. So make sure that you plan this launch sale out to the T. Now, other ways outside of a sale to build hype. Other ways are engaging Instagram content, which we're going to cover. Engaging email content, which we already covered. We already covered that email process after they signed up for your email list and how to get them hype about your launch and about your brand. You're going to do an Instagram story countdown. So on Instagram, if you go to Instagram, which I'll just go right now because I'm here. If you go to Instagram, I'm going to just type in a random word. You then have this sticker right here. You tap it, and then it pops up like this, and you have a countdown option that pops up. The brightness is kind of messing me up, but there's a countdown option on here. So you click the countdown option, and then it pops up like this, and you get to name your countdown. You get to name your countdown, you get to set the time and date, and then what Instagram does is it keeps tabs on that until your actual date. So when you set this, people can go in, they can see it posted on your story, and they can tap it and save it. And then when they save it, Instagram will remind them when you launch. They'll send out a reminder, I think the day of or the day before, and then they'll also send out the exact time that you have set on the launch date. They'll send a reminder to their phones. So you get to be in people's notifications without them having to open an email, without them having to open Instagram, without them having to do anything, because Instagram is going to send a push notification to their phone with that Instagram countdown option. So that's why I have those 4 automatically checked. You have other options that you can do to build hype that are optional to you to add on to the 4 that you need to do. Well, I suggest that you do. So the first one, teaser videos. Tease them. What is the services you're providing? What are the products that you're going to be selling? Tease them a little bit on what those things will look like. So if you have 10, you're starting off with 10 different items, tease them with maybe 3 of them, the 3 best looking ones. Tease them with it. Say, oh, this is a sneak peek of what we're going to be offering. Can't wait for you to see the rest. Once again, people like mystery. They'll follow you just for that mystery. They'll check you out just for that mystery. Another one that works wonders for people, I've never tried it, but Facebook and Instagram Live. Sometimes people like to go live right before they launch or on the day that they launch, just to answer any questions that people may have, to record the live excitement that they have for their business launching. If you're having a launch party, this is especially vital. So if you're doing a launch party, I suggest going live while you're at the launch party so that people who aren't at the launch party can also be a part of the festivities. Then you have a giveaway. So make sure you map out the giveaway properly now. There's a right and a wrong way to do giveaways. But host a giveaway. Offer something for free. One of the items that you've already teased, or offer, a completely free item. Once you launch, they'll get their own code that they can go in and get something for free. Tell them in the giveaway that they must follow you. Tell them that they must tag 2 other people in the comment section. That way, you're getting the follow from them, and then you're also getting 2 more people that didn't see this giveaway post coming to you because they were tagged, and then they probably will enter too, and then now you have an additional 2 follows. So run that giveaway. Another thing is hand out flyers. We talked about the event strategy in the previous section. So if you go to a lot of events, or if you are well known in the community, take your launch flyer out there. Have a flyer created about what your business is going to offer, about when you're going to open, what your website is, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever it is you have, and go out there and hand it out. Hand out at least 100 of them. Get the word out there. The last 2 are paid promotion and advertisement. Paid promotion is when you pay a blog page or somebody with a big following to post about your business. They post about your business. They keep it up for either 24 hours, a week, however long you pay for it. Each person has different packages and different rates and different rules, but you pay, they post, you get people who are attracted to your product or your service. And this is another reason why I started off the class with the target audience. Once you know your target audience and you know what their lifestyle is like, you know what type of pages they follow. You know what type of blog pages they're into. So you can go to those blog pages and you can reach out to those people about paid promotion. And you know that your target audience lives and engages on that page every single day. So they're going to see your paid promotion when you pay for it. And the next one is advertisement. I talked a little about this in the last section. So it's really just sharing, an engaging ad and getting people to click to either sign up to your email list or click to your profile and follow you. Boom, boom, bam. So the last and final thing we're going to talk about is going to be content, what to share, when to share it, how to share it. So in this section, I want to really go over the type of captions you use. I'm going to talk about hashtags briefly, and I'm going to tell you about the times and the amount of times you should post. When you are starting a new business and you're just starting out, you haven't launched yet, even after you launch, I suggest posting 3 times a day. That's 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night. The 1 in the morning should be anywhere between, it also depends on, where you are, your time zone. So I'm speaking about Eastern time zone. It should be between 8 and 10 a.m. The second one should then be somewhere between that 12 and 2 mark. And the third one should be somewhere between 5 and 9. You want to post 3 times a day. That way, when somebody's rolling out of bed and they're checking their phone, or they're on their way to work and they're checking your phone, they see it in the morning. When they're taking their lunch and they're on their phone, because that's what people do, they're on social media all the time, they see your post. At nighttime, when they're at the dinner table or when they're getting ready for bed, they see your post. So you want to make sure that you post 3 times a day. Posting 3 times a day also gives you room to get more engagement. Instagram ranks posts based off of engagement. The more engagement you get, the more people Instagram shows it to, the more it unlocks your potential to then reach people who aren't following you. Okay? Crazy thing is, Instagram doesn't even show your post to all of your followers unless it's a high engaging post. So you can have 1,000 followers. If you post something, Instagram is only going to show it to like 50 of them. And if nobody likes or comments on it, then your post kind of goes in Instagram trash in a way. But if people actually like and comment on your post, then it will be like, okay, maybe we should show this to 100 more people. So then they unlock it and they show it to 100 more people. Those people engage, okay, we're gonna show it to some more people. And that's really how the Instagram algorithm works. So you want to post multiple times a day so that you have an option. Not an option. You have an opportunity at each touch point to get that engagement. So if you don't get it from the morning post, you may get it from the afternoon post. If you don't get it from the afternoon, you may get it from the evening post. If you get it from all three, that's even better. And the goal is to get engagement from all three by using engaging captions and posting engaging content. So now, what type of content should you post when you're launching? I told you already, you want to post sneak peeks. You want to tell them, okay, we're going to have this great sale launching. You should, look out for it. You want to post things that require interaction, things that ask questions. Do you like A or B? You're going on a date. Which one would you wear? For me, I was asking questions like, I think one of the questions was, why haven't you launched your business yet? That was one of my questions I asked before I even launched. I think that has a whole bunch, I don't remember the amount of comments, but that has a lot of comments and it has a lot of interaction. And to this day, people are still commenting on there, telling me why they haven't launched. Because it's a high engaging post. So you want to trigger people to want to comment. You want to share content that's either funny, entertaining, or informative. And then you also want to make sure that you're telling them that you're coming soon. So even if you're not posting a picture that relates to you coming soon, if you post a video about one of your products or what it would be and how cool it is, including the caption, oh, it's coming on this date. That way people have in the back of their minds that it's coming on this date. And then engage it with the people that actually comment, because you want to engage with those people so that it helps you build hype, it helps your engagement rate, and it overall just helps grow your business on social media. The next thing outside of content, you want to think about your captions. When you post captions, don't just post emojis, don't just post one word. Actually think about your caption. Kind of use the marketing bite strategy. Remember I told you you're going to use the marketing bite strategy for ads, for social media content, for when you're posting about sales. You want to grab attention. You want to tell them what it is that you're trying to get across that's helping them, that interest factor. And then boom, if it's a sale, you're dropping the price or the offer. If it's not a sale or anything like that, and you're just posting content, to keep people engaged, then boom, hit them with an attention grabber, hit them with an interest factor. And as an example that I can give you, let me go to my page right now again. And I'll have some of these screenshotted on the PowerPoint. But one of my posts I posted, this has absolutely nothing to do with any product or service, but it's engaging content. It helps trigger people to talk. I posted something, I said, it has a little relationship status thing. It says, are you single, taken, or in your bag? It has a check mark on in my bag. And then my caption says, my goals are looking real sexy right now. Heart emoji. I'm happily in my bag. What's your relationship status? Exclamation mark, question mark. 145 likes and 17 comments. If you go to something else that I posted, I have something else that I posted. You're getting a free office makeover. Which look are you choosing? This is the A or B, would you rather option that I just mentioned. I put A or B. My caption says I'm stuck between A and B. Which do you like best? 122 likes, 77 comments. And then let's go to the one that I asked a question. So I'm giving you an example of each that I just mentioned. The why haven't you launched a business yet? I said, what's your reason or concern? Let me know down below. I want to help. I'm probing people to do an action. I'm giving them something to laugh about at the beginning for some posts, and then I'm asking them a question. I'm telling them to do something. This one has 131 likes. It has 89 comments. So if you do this before you launch, you will then get to tap into all of those people who are following you and the people who aren't following you either. Another good thing about content is to post videos whenever you can. I suggest trying to post at least a video a week, 2 a week if you can, if you have that content, because videos rank higher automatically on Instagram and Facebook. Videos just rank higher. So if you have a video that you can post, incorporate a video. The last thing that I want to touch on is hashtags. So many times I see people just hashtag whatever. Like they'll hashtag Easter Sunday on a weave post that has nothing to do with anything. Like, or they'll hashtag like, I don't know, coming to America or something. Like they'll hashtag a whole bunch of irrelevant things that has nothing to do with their business or their brand or their product or their service. When you're thinking about hashtags, you need to think about your target audience. You need to think about what they're searching, what they're interested in, what benefits they're looking for, what products they're searching for. And then that's how you come up with your hashtags. You use the hashtags based on what they would be searching for. Nobody is going to be searching for Easter Sunday and they're expecting to find here. No. If they're searching for Easter Sunday, they might be searching for a church to go to. They're not searching for weave to put on their head. So don't hashtag that if it has nothing to do with your brand or your business. Hashtag things that people are actually searching. Think about hashtags as search terms on Google. What would you search if you yourself was looking for the product or the service that you offer? And create hashtags that way. If you need something that's in depth, I have a hashtag book that goes deep into this stuff. It comes with a workbook as well, and it explains hashtags to a T. It explains different tools on how to discover your own hashtags. So if you want that, it's called The Power of a Hashtag Book and Workbook Combo, and it's on my website. You can get that. But please stop with the irrelevant hashtags because they don't help. When you use the right hashtags, you should be being discovered with those hashtags. And I'll give you an example. So I have a post that said, hustle tip, know who you're selling to. And I broke down tips on how to discover your target audience. It has 236 likes, 25 comments. If I go to my insights, it's been saved 109 times. It's been forwarded to someone 11 times. And I've gotten profile visits from it, website visits from it. And then where I really see the power of my hashtag is in the discovery section. So if you have a post that you used random hashtags on, I want you to pull up your phone right now, go to your page, click View Insights. If you don't see View Insights, it's because you don't have a business page. So you need to go ahead and switch over your Instagram to a business page. But if you already have a business page, you should see View Insights. You're going to scroll down to Discovery. It says that 2,630 accounts were reached. 41% of them weren't my follower base. So I reached over 1,000 people who weren't already following me from using my hashtags, right? Instagram showed this page to 300, I don't like this number, but 3,666 people. So I had that many impressions. I had 645 impressions from hashtags. 635 people saw my post because I used the right hashtags. If you don't believe using the right hashtags work, this alone should show you that. So if you don't know how to discover your hashtags or what it is, go ahead and grab that book, or you can keep playing with it until you figure it out. But that is all that I have for this section. that is all that I have for this class. Now that you know how to get how to get your target audience, the importance of your target audience, how to define your target audience. Now that you know what the marketing bite strategy means and you've developed your own ads and your own email content based off of the marketing bite strategy. Now that you know the branding essentials that you need and you've picked your name, you have your colors, you know your purpose. Now that you know how to build an email list, you know what email marketing platforms you want to research. You know how you want to build your list. Now that you know what launch email content you need to have lined up when people sign up on your list. Now that you know how to build hype with the proper content on social media and the proper strategies, you now know how to launch your business. So play this class over whenever you want. Feel free to hop around to different sections if you need to touch up on anything. But this is really the ultimate package to launch your business. And once again, if you've already launched your business and you're rebranding or relaunching, it's not a bad idea to do a relaunch, to shut it down, rebrand everything, and reopen it, and then use these strategies and see the difference between it. If you've already launched and you're not going to do a relaunch, and you just want to use this as, information to grow your email list and to grow your following and things like that, you can use this too. It's helpful all around the board. But I wish all of you guys nothing but success in all of your launches. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler if you don't already. It's at The Brand Hustler across everything, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And my website is www.thebrandhustler.com. See that cohesiveness and consistency there? But yes, make sure that you go ahead and do that. Don't forget, we have 2 Q&A sessions, one on May 1st at 7 p.m., the other one on May 8th at 7 p.m. Come there and ask all the questions that you have, all the questions that you come up with afterwards, after watching this class and trying to do this stuff yourself. Come there with the questions, come to both, come to one, whichever one you want. And that is all. I'm going to say goodnight now, and best of luck to you all. Goodbye.